Hey y'all, hey y'all. It is
What's
say your
today?
name.
It's the beast.
And I'm Blaq. And we're here again with another conversation with our friends
Oh,
about many of things.
many of things. So, what's poppin'? We're gonna start out by we're gonna let them introduce themselves today. So we're gonna start over here with my sister. She got a special chair, y'all. Like I think she thought she was a deacon today, a deaconess. So she didn't bring her whole chair. Didn't like the chair that we presented to her. So we'll give her the flow first. Let her tell where you what's your name and if you want to say anything else, and we'll go around.
LB the trainer. This is
Mm.
my brother. It's my sister. It's my brother. My brother from another mother. Little sis down there. You know what I'm saying? I'm the crazy.
I like your cute.
Jose.
I like my
My
shit.
name's Jose, and we work out here at the gym, and everybody here, they've been treating me like family since day one, and we're here now.
What's up?
See
We
how
don't need to introduce you. You already introduced yourself. This is what I love about our show. Go ahead, Tay.
I'm Tay.
Second time
I work
you
out.
said
That's it.
Second time you done did it.
I'm different. I ain't worked out. But I can relate to the tape because I'm different too.
What's up, Black man?
Oh my goodness. All right. I'm sorry. My sister said this is my second time I stepped over her. So I did
Right.
a Allen Iverson over Tyronn Lue in the playoffs. I done stepped over her. So I ain't gonna do that.
I'm
anymore.
Black. Hi. That's it.
Hey, the topic today, man. I know we put a topic out there, which was what was it, Black?
The value of the ring.
Does the value of the ring matter?
Yeah.
And we're gonna get into that.
I like that.
I appreciate it. This is I don't even know who made it, but anyway, but we're gonna get into that, and we're gonna get into that first. But we're also gonna talk about. I don't even know if we have a
How
topic.
you put that into a topic?
How do we put that? I'm gonna toss that one to Derek. How do you put that into a topic? What we've been talking about for 30 minutes?
That's heat.
I don't know.
What did y'all talk about today?
I guess
We're
it
gonna
would be
fill you in. Don't worry. You perfect for it.
co-parenting.
Um,
I don't want to say do's and don'ts because that was all a lot of don'ts.
I know it's tough.
What's
It's
the
tough.
proper way to co-parent?
Is the problem really co-parents?
Is the
Is-
problem really
I like
co-parent?
I like that. So we're gonna
Is the problem
yeah.
really co-parent?
We're gonna touch on that real.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a we're gonna do Salt Bay on that one. We're gonna sprinkle for real on that topic. But so the topic at hand, we'll crash that first. So to my people that's on this panel, does the value of the ring really matter? Anybody can jump on that.
For me, no.
Why?
Because this can't value my love for you. I feel like if this was the termination of my love for you, that's a little short, you know? Like it ain't enough. It wouldn't be enough regardless. It ain't a money value for me that can determine my love for someone. If I, like I did to one of my friends, if I was to propose to you with this lighter, right? And it has $5 value on it, but you know I'm a hardcore stoner. You know I ain't finna give you this fucking lighter. You know this my shit.
Right.
I'm gonna take this everywhere with me.
Right.
But if I give it to you, you know I mean it, right?
True.
If I give you something I wouldn't let out of my possession because I fuck with it that way, or somebody gave it to me, say it's a ring you got from your grandmother, and I give that to you, you think me going to get a Tiffany ring would show you I love you more?
Oh. Pick me.
I love this. I
As
love
much as I
it.
love your perspective, that made me smile when you said that. Realistically, in our generation, that's what I always hit to.
Okay.
I disagree. I'm
Okay.
gonna tell you why.
No, hold on, pause. But do you disagree?
No.
Okay.
So keep going. I'm glad you said it. Continue.
Right
Continue.
now.
I don't disagree.
Okay.
I'm glad you did that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, if I'm speaking from our generation, I would disagree only because I feel like the value of the ring is too valuable in our generation.
Okay.
in my opinion, I feel like women have begun to pursue the image of having a ring more than they have been invested in trying to have a good marriage.
Okay.
So for me in this generation, girl, did he get you a ring? It's popular. Like, when are you getting your ring? What kind of ring did he get you? It's way more important than, is this man growing your life? Did he add value to your life? I just feel like it's way more value.
You married?
I'm in there myself, been married. I'm working on
You got to tell the audience.
She's been married, so Blaq, we all know, y'all should know by now that Blaq has been married and is married. I've been married, he's been married. Have you been married, Taylor? Taylor has not been married. Jose has not been married. LV has been married. So how many of us are divorced?
Oh, I've been.
So us three are divorced. She has been divorced, but is recently married. So you got a different spectrum of people all around the table. So run it, Blaq. I know you was gonna say something. I'm sorry.
You were absolutely right. I feel like our society did deem a ring valuable, but so did they do every fucking thing as in this show me society right now.
Yeah.
Everything's for show. So I would say, yeah, you may think that in conversation, where's the ring, but if you had a conversation about the ring, it would be less important. You get what I'm saying? So let's say my homegirl came and he bought her a bubblegum ring. And she said, yeah, girl, because he finna buy this truck. And after that, we'll be the whole room gonna be like, hell yeah, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? But you will internalize it. You gotta show the world something.
For sure.
Without that conversation, yeah, you probably feel like you gotta put on a show. But when you're talking amongst real people and you say, and we're gonna pick out a ring later on, or I decided I want a house instead of a ring, we decided to put matching tattoos, whatever the story is behind that decision, the whole room go, right. Because it's not a moral or ethic type of decision. It's a society decision that we're just going along with, like paying bills.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You get that bill in the mail and you're like, fuck it, I gotta pay this 130 something. But amongst us, you're like, why the fuck they keep charging us during the pandemic?
Right.
Right?
No, for sure.
No.
So
Yeah.
society isn't real. That's just our outlook of what we think we should be like.
No,
It's
for
our
sure.
collective rules.
Right.
But they're not real. It's just
That's why initially I said I agree with you.
yeah.
I don't think that, I don't value the ring at all. Like, I just value the marriage. Like, I don't really give a shit about it.
What would be acceptable for you? For somebody to come marry you?
It's a woman talking now, so I want to hear it.
Really, it would be like me and him in front of God. I don't really care about none of that other stuff.
See, and that's some real shit. But
Yeah, I don't really.
for the show, you gonna say, oh, he better come correct. I done done. You know you won't.
True.
Because you really want your husband.
That's it.
You really want your husband. You really don't care about that fucking ring. But if you need something to show, go for it, sweetheart. But if you is that woman that prefer that ring over that marriage, that's exactly what the fuck you're gonna be left with.
And don't
A
get
ring
mad when he
and
take
not a
it back.
marriage. Because then what if he internalized that as that's what she wanted from me and that's what I got for her.
Yeah.
Now he don't have to learn how to be the man you need long term, not the man you've been dating, not all that. We collectively try to grow together, bank accounts together, obligations and responsibilities together. So if I just give you this ring because you said that's what you want, now I ain't got to worry about our account no more.
But that also has changed. I'm in love with your perspective. I feel that way. But I feel like in a relationship today, married or not, neither person has fully committed themselves away from having no other option but to continue to grow with this person. In other words, which is why I said the ring is so valuable, it wouldn't be a problem if they were actually invested into the marriage, into the relationship when we have problems.
Gotcha.
But because I'm invested solely in this ring, if anything does not meet my need, I'm out. Married or
I'm
not.
gonna ask you for my ring back.
Probably.
Pass me that ring. Pass me that. And
Yeah.
for me, that would just disgust me. You couldn't even give it back to me. You couldn't come have a conversation with me with that type of mentality. But I would understand it because that's what you put on the table. That's what you said. That is the commitment to the relationship. You said to have me, you want this.
Yeah.
So I got you this. So you mine, right? Huh? You gonna wear that fucking ring as long as you wear that fucking ring. You mine. Because that's the understanding you put me on.
You can still have a ring and do whatever.
But that's what
Right.
you put me on. So that's what I got you. So that's the exchange I'm expecting.
Oh,
You're not mine because Why picking people?
So I agree with both of y'all. So no, the ring doesn't matter, but in society, it does. No, the ring doesn't matter. No, the ring doesn't matter. Jose, no, the ring, LB, no. I say no, but I want to give you a different outlook. I think we missed something. We went straight to the marriage. Does the ring matter? Let's go backwards. Let's rewind to engagement. Whether I can give you $100 ring on this engagement and we even never make it to the altar.
Right on.
You see what I'm saying? We never make it. I can give you a $10,000 ring on an engagement and we never make it to the altar.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Peep this. Or let me flip it. I can give you a $100 ring as an engagement and upgrade your ass to a $10,000 ring wedding day. You feel what I'm saying? Or vice versa. Moral of the story is the goal is to what? Get married.
Mhm.
Damn all that other stuff.
Mhm.
If the ring is just, if I'm offering you whatever the ring is, whether it's $2 or whether it's $2,000, this is just something that's going to solidify, hey, we're making this official that we're going to take this next step, or we're attempting to take this next step. But look at the statistics of how many people that don't never get to getting married.
Mhm.
It's a lot of people.
Mhm.
And you're just stuck with a $200 ring, $2,000 ring, $15,000 ring, but you're just stuck there. So you never got to the end goal, which is being married. So at the end of the day, we got to really think about, okay, for my people that do think the ring matters, ask yourself if you're going to even make it to even tell people later, man, yeah, this ring was $200, but we've been married 20 years and he done upgraded me 6 times.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Or you're gonna be the one that be like, yeah, this ring was 10,000. Yeah, we didn't even get married.
But that ain't the focus, I feel, and it should be. The greatest marriage is our respect. I don't even think about a ring. I think about my grandmama and them married 50 years. You ain't seen them have no
Because
ring.
the end of the ring didn't matter.
You know what I'm saying? Like the greatest marriage is our respect. I'm not thinking about a ring. I'm thinking about how they was always union. You know, and in this generation, I just feel like the ring is like the pursuit.
Mhm.
The wedding is the very intimate mistress. So by the time you get to actually invest into the marriage, you ain't got nothing left.
But I want to say, what caused the change? Because he keeps saying our generation, my generation, right?
Our generation. Yeah.
What caused
Both
the change
generations.
from back then? We can all agree most people didn't care about the ring. So what caused the change in our generation?
We all have different opinions because some people would be like, for a lot of people, what we're saying now, the hottest thing to say is women have more now. And that's does play a role. But this ain't got nothing to do with women having more. We won't. That's personally, I'm loving that. Shoot, I got some help now. On the cool. But the reality of it is that society did it. We made things about, hey, look at me. I'm hot. I got this. I got that. I did this. I did that.
Does when they get engaged.
They gonna post it. They gonna post it if they ain't already live when it's going down. So go ahead.
It takes the intimacy out of the union.
Because an
right?
engagement
I
is
don't want
intimacy,
you to-
I thought.
Yeah, it's real intimate, but if you broadcasting it for the world and all this and that, it's not really a me and you moment. It's a world moment.
But I thought, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I was always aware that engagements, y'all don't supposed to know. That's the way I look at it. And so that means
It's supposed to be a surprise.
that's supposed to be a surprise. That's between that man and God and her parents. If he went to her parents the right way, like he's
You wouldn't
supposed
be able
to.
to record.
Right.
Right.
So that
You
means
wouldn't know.
you have no idea.
But recording.
My ex-wife didn't have no idea that she was gonna get a ring. Did yours?
No.
Did yours? But did you know you was gonna get a ring?
No.
Did you know? Did Story know she was gonna get a ring?
My engagement.
So okay, did you know you was gonna get a ring? Okay. Either way, it doesn't matter. Have you ever been engaged?
And I had a ring, yeah. Something
But did
like
you know
that.
you was getting a ring?
No, I didn't know.
It was a promise ring.
Either way, but did you know you was getting a ring?
I didn't know, no.
Okay. So have you ever been
But I
engaged?
told
You ever promised? Okay, so moral of the story is that the way I was taught is that a woman don't even know. So how is all of this stuff being, or now it's being publicized that, hey,
I
shoot,
think
girl,
it's just that,
we
the
finna
publicizing.
They agree in a lot.
It's the show, the show fucked
Who's
it up.
gonna have the biggest, proposal?
You
My
know,
grandmama
'cause
didn't have
who's-
Twitter in Instagram.
we didn't get to see
They
that
had it.
stuff back in the day. But then
For
the
sure.
first
They
time
had
we
it.
seen one of those public proposals,
that shit.
everybody wanted one,
For
right?
sure, for sure.
So when I do it, I'm gonna do it like this, I'm gonna do it like that, I'm gonna do it like that, and it just planted a seed. And I feel like I was trying to think just now, when did Facebook start? Not even Facebook, MySpace started
Turn it up.
because
I wasn't even on
that's now been 30 years of us wanting to show a world of people we don't know something about us that's we deem good. This is good. So look, you like it? Do you want to do it? You want to be it? This is who I am, and I want you to praise me for it. We've been doing that for 30 fucking years. And now just having a conversation on how we got here. How did it change? Because we've been talking about this for months now, right, Dave? But him asking that fucked me up. I was sitting here like, because at what point did it change? I'm trying to remember when my mama got it proposed to, which I wasn't here to do that, but I'm 32. 30 years from now, we've been showing this.
My mom been married twice, and I ain't see it on Facebook, Instagram, and
We
all
ain't
that.
see it nowhere, but she had a different perspective on marriage. She was married to my father until he passed, although they weren't even together. So I can't say the dynamic of relationships was good, but our understanding of marriage is completely different than that.
Preach.
And he did damn near my whole life in prison, and she still didn't divorce this man. She lived her life, but she didn't divorce this man
Now that
from whatever
matters.
theme was taught to her.
Yeah.
But we didn't get that. And I think that's what we're missing. Whatever it was then, and I didn't have that conversation with her. I wouldn't know what the mentality was that made her stay. But
I think it's a different type of loyalty.
It's
It's
a
a different
different type of loyalty,
But you
man.
can't say loyalty, because our grandmamas and papas had multiple families. You can't say
Definitely.
loyalty. You can't say
definitely,
loyalty.
it was definitely a lot of us.
Yeah.
And when he came home, he planted a lot of other seeds
Yeah.
too.
We'll
But-
never know the real.
But my
But
understanding of it,
loyalty
I'm trying to.
You're not loyal to the union.
Not loyal
If you
to
got
the union.
another family,
Well, yeah, I agree with that, but I'm just saying in this generation, I don't think we would even do both.
I think we would break up before we do.
You know what though?
But is that wrong? Is that wrong to break up? If I'm gonna cheat on you anyway, I should leave you, right?
I don't
Absolutely.
condone cheating, period.
Okay,
Period.
well,
Yeah, so
our
yeah.
grandparents back in the day, you had to. I
He
mean,
had to be. What?
You
Okay.
didn't
So
have to. No, that's not, I don't, the first
I feel
thing,
what you're saying.
I understand it, but
Great point.
I think at any point of time, that woman could have left.
no, she
But-
couldn't.
back then,
I know what y'all, I was waiting on y'all to say that,
Why
because the
would you say
reality
that
of it is,
then?
because I know,
No,
because the-
What made you think she
I
couldn't?
think she
make
could
it
have.
where-
she
with
always
no
have a choice.
When
Nah, not back
her
then.
working skills is cooking and cleaning.
right?
And then she got to watch the grandchildren, so that's cooking and cleaning.
So
and
y'all-
you want her to leave the house to go cook and clean across the street when you've been fucking her across the street?
That's true.
Because how far can I go? I can't drive, remember?
Yeah, that's true.
No, for real.
So how
What
far
she
can I
supposed
go?
to do?
I'm
What
gonna
she
walk up and
supposed to
down
do?
this street and ask who need that kitchen clean?
Yeah, what she
Because you now want to go be with the other family?
exactly.
Don't-
That's what
don't be-
happened.
Don't
with
be
the grandparents.
fucking with me, man. Talk about the men.
That's what
Don't
everyone
talk about the
But that's what happened. Like my
But it was
family,
available.
my family from the
It was
country,
a
you can't
option.
leave.
I'm not saying she,
No,
I'm not gonna sit there and say
Her
she
choice
didn't have
wasn't
an
given
option.
to her until after the fact.
There was always an option.
I think
Just
that's
like
why
it was an
there's
option,
always an option.
just like when they got their first opportunity to leave in slavery, they left, right?
No, they did not.
Not all of them.
No.
They didn't have no
I ain't talking about women, I'm just talking
Everybody-
about-
No, they
Yeah.
they stayed.
They
They didn't
stayed
have nowhere to
It
go.
took many of
The
them.
reality,
Hold on,
They
I'm torn.
congregated at the lake
I'm
and
torn.
tried to build tents and shit. No, I'm serious.
I get it.
You know I get into that shit.
I know.
They had to go congregate over there until they figure out what to do. The other ones that was too scared, they paid rent on the same plantation they was born and raised on.
So let me ask you this. We gotta be realistic.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it was going to be easy if the woman left the man base. But I am saying that it was an option. Just like it was an option for her to stay. It was an option for her to leave. We understand that it was going to be hard. We understand that it was going to be house to house, whatever she was saying, hey, she didn't have no skills. There's women that leave now and don't have no skills.
You have
You know
more
what I'm saying?
options,
Like,
but you have
this-
these options to learn those skills. You can go into a bank or somewhere and beg your way into a situation. You got organizations that help women now. So you can, and that's why they jumping and doing it now. You get what I'm saying? That's why it changed over the time, because our world created systems for women to get out the home and men to be incarcerated or, live his
Whatever.
soar his royal oaks. The system, this isn't new or rare. This was put against us, just like your boy said.
Mhm.
This was planned against us, and everything that they implemented against us has worked. Every single thing. It's not one thing that hasn't worked against us. I'm sorry, baby.
I think outlook is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because I actually agree with what you're trying to say, because the option is available.
Mm-hmm.
But I also agree with,
I agree with it too. Absolutely.
resources and,
Yeah.
but I just feel like I feel like your outlook is reality, meaning, like even today, if they've got kids, you're in a relationship, you married, and you know this is a dog ass nigga, but you don't want to leave him because your outlook says it'll be too hard with the kids to have to start over to date again. And I just don't want to do that. So your outlook will make you feel like this is better, and it ain't. But you have options.
Yeah.
And I feel like in that situation, I feel like once the outlook of people, slavery, how far back you want to go, once the outlook said we could or we can, we did.
That mentality has to change. And I think that's what we're collectively trying to do in these conversations, is change the mentality for these problems. Because these questions aren't new. Everybody's asking the same motherfucking thing. Mm-hmm. Everybody trying to get to the same conclusion. It's just we don't have the mentality to get to the solution. You get what I'm saying? We just going in cycles like, oh, but I think it's this, I think it's this. I want to hear yours and be like, I hear that. Mm-hmm. So how can I implement yours and mine? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. How can we coexist together? If that's your understanding for life, and this is my understanding for life, and we got 30 more years on this ship,
how can we coexist together?
How can we make this 30 years beautiful? You get what I'm saying? Yeah, you have your needs, and I have my needs, and we have this understanding, and it could be completely different. But we in the same fucking room.
We gotta be open-minded. We all have to stay open-minded.
It ain't my job to convince you otherwise. It's just my job to explain my view.
But in the process of, I'm not convincing. So that's the crazy thing. I'm not convincing you, but I'm hoping that when we have this dialogue that we have, for an example, a la myself, when I leave this podcast every Sunday, I go home with something else to think about. Mm-hmm. Something else to say, dang, Dion, you could do better at this, or you can tighten this up, or you would be a better man if you just did this. And what I do is try to implement that into my week.
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to change you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we get caught up in. I'm trying to better us all.
Yes, but when you with people, honestly, people don't have them conversations. So you can't think that it's gonna be good if we ain't never talked about it. You never know my stance. I never know
you with me.
Right.
If you don't know what the fuck I'm thinking.
Majority of people is off of looks, right? And now we got a baby. So here we go.
Well,
that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Right? We don't have this conversation, and now I'm stuck looking at you like, I don't even fuck with that.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with me neither, but here we are, right? So that's what's wrong with society. You gotta have conversations.
The biggest heartbreak to me when it comes to relationships, it's not necessarily, that person, doing whatever they did that hurt you. I feel like the biggest heartbreak when it comes to relationships is that person not meeting my level of expectation that I didn't tell them.
Yeah. That was my previous marriage.
And it hurt me so personally because I was expecting this person to meet what I had set them at to meet, but they didn't meet it. But partly also my fault. I didn't tell this person what I wanted from them, what I needed.
And what gets me about us, no matter if it's a man or woman, then why the hell are you mad?
Emotions.
But
Why the hell you mad at something that you didn't do?
No.
But when you get with somebody, you can't say, "Oh, I'm with you for who I hope you become." Right? I'm with you for who you are now, because you might not never change.
See, that's
You
the
might
strong,
not
that's
never
the strong
change.
suit. If you can
Say that
marry
again?
somebody,
You might not never change. I gotta love you for who you are right now.
Right
What
now.
I see, you might not see yourself.
Stop.
Yeah,
But a lot of women don't
would
think
tell
like
you.
that. It's impossible for
Not
them to
true.
think that
Yeah.
way.
That's not
Hold on,
true.
give me 1 second. I'm gonna explain.
Okay.
Because women look at potential automatically
Too
from day
much.
one. So she's already thinking about 5 years from now,
Too much.
2 years from now, or a year from now. Oh, if I do this to him, or if
Too
I
much.
sprinkle a little bit of this on
I'm
him,
not thinking
or
of
if I
3
do
years.
this,
I can't even remember yesterday. I'm not thinking of 3 years.
you're a special person.
I can't be that special, Daddy. I'm telling you. the
You
truth.
are.
I haven't
No,
put
you
in-
are.
I'm telling you.
You are.
Okay.
There are plenty
So,
of people.
pause. So you don't, any relationship that you've been in, you've never looked at that man and thought of potential future. You've never looked at it and never looked at it just not for this. And I met him. I'm talking about like down the line. Dang, I can see myself in 3 years from
Yes,
now.
you're right. But before I was about to get married, I had to look at him and say, if he never changed, am I okay? And I wasn't.
And that's what more
That's
people,
what it is.
women or men,
Yeah.
need to ask themselves right before you're getting to that level. Because there's levels in relationships. When I start looking at you like, dang, I could be with him for the rest of my life, then I need to start asking that question.
Mm-hmm. Like from right then.
From right then,
and I
the
spend
minute.
my life with this man right
Exactly.
here, right now.
As he is.
Cool. If we grow, we grow. But if this man right here, I like this. I
Hold
like
on.
this package.
But all of this,
But I think
if he
that's
never
the
makes any
transition.
more money,
Yeah.
if he never changes his look,
Because it's not
if
about
he,
that.
if all of that,
It's us coexisting together. Can we make it together? I ain't worried about your career. I don't even know it when I made that decision. Don't know your career. I'm interested in if we can build together. Your career can change.
unfortunately,
The way
because
you
of
change,
social
your
media
career
and
can
everything,
change.
And that's beautiful.
every
All
woman
of
in
that
man,
shit
they
can
knows
change.
their career. It
That's
sounds
beautiful.
good.
That's beautiful. But I just feel like I feel like it does matter as far as what you. I feel like it does. Only reason why I feel like it do is because what I wanted from you or what made me like you at courtship is only cute later in the relationship. Meaning, if what attracted me was because you smiled at me and you took me out to dinner. Once we're actually together, I'm gonna now demand of you to be more intimate. I'm gonna ask for more time. I'm gonna ask you to be more invested. So that same requirement does change. So I feel like, yeah, I do love you for who you are, but I feel like it's not true to say that we don't still have a level of expectation for that person to give more.
But that's how you get your heart broken.
Well,
Your expectation is not my expectation for my life. And I don't have to live up to your standards for my life. You have to love me how I want to live my life if we together, right?
but I don't think it's a demand. I just feel like emotionally you're wanting more.
And that's
It's
okay
not-
with you wanting more.
Right.
But as your lady, and I'm interested in you,
Right.
I want you to have the best marital experience you can possibly have.
Right.
And it's my job to give you that best marital experience. And I'm also interested in my best marital experience too.
Right.
So this has to be compromises.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So yeah, you need more time.
Right.
And I get that, Daddy. But I see I work 12 hours every day. And so those little 5 hours before we go to bed, I can't give it to you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't give it to you. But on my 3 days off, we're gonna do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Right.
Okay? It'll be a conversation that how I can accommodate your needs and what you saying you want. And okay, but you gotta give me those 5 hours after work. You gotta leave me the fuck alone. All right, Papa? You gotta leave me alone. Because I need
No, for
also
real.
that same peace that you're trying to get me to give to you. I have to create that too. For me.
But
to
I
give
feel
to
like it starts with honesty. Like you're saying, what you're speaking to is being honest about it. But I feel like because that's not done, what you are left for heartbreak, so to say, is because I lied to myself initially when I told myself that this was all I needed.
Right.
Whatever it is that you was giving me, I lied to myself. You hear that girl that say, "Girl, I was waiting 2 to 3 years," because I knew he was in a little situation when he first, but I was expecting him to eventually, because at the end of the day, like the level of it changes. So like I lied to myself when I said I was just okay with you working 12 hours and just coming home, testing me, going to sleep. 5 years from now or 2 years from now, that ain't enough.
That arrangement is
You
not.
know what I'm saying? And I didn't communicate that to
But
you
that's
to let
when
you
you
know.
change. You say, you know what?
Yeah.
I know you like your space, and I know you like your time. but I also like to be in your space. And I like to be a part of your time. Is there a way we could change this? Because baby, you probably can't work 12 hours a day if you need 5 hours when you get home.
She said, we ain't having any conversations.
But I do. And okay, I know what you finna say. I know what you said. But this is
She know me so well.
this is exactly what we need. Just like you work out every day and you make sure your muscles are good, this is what we need for our mind.
Yeah.
This is what we need for our mentality is these conversations. Teach you say I talk too much. Huh? I
I
was
talk
a
too
great
much, too.
student and she's fantastic, but the girl talked too much.
And I'm
Yeah.
passionate
She want to
about
talk
what
to
I talk about.
everybody about everything. You know what? That's why they feel like I'm different, but I'm not different. I just put more time into my mentality than I did any other area.
But it's important to have that conversation because I'm gonna tell you what the nigga do. The nigga,
Tell us what the
I'm gonna
nigga.
tell you what the nigga do.
Well, we wanna what
I'm on
the
it.
nigga do. What the man do?
I'm gonna tell you what the man do too, but I'm gonna tell you what the nigga do
first.
Because,
First.
yeah, I'm telling you what
Leave
the
the
nigga
nigga
do
first.
first. At the end of the day, you allowed me to be whoever I was because you didn't communicate to me that you wanted me to raise my
Don't do
level.
that.
I'm
But that's
no,
cool,
but
okay.
listen, but
I
listen,
can
no,
get that. Calm
I'm
down.
gonna tell you what.
Let him finish.
I'm gonna tell you what. Initially, I am wrong because I'm a nigga by choice.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking away no blame.
Because he could have been a gentleman.
I could have been a gentleman. I know I'm a nigga by choice,
Okay.
but you like it. You like it.
Oh, y'all
You was
toxic
okay with us
motherfucking men.
just
That's
doing
what
that.
that
So
is.
what that did to a nigga, I don't got to change.
Yeah,
I'm just being a nigga. So I'm gonna keep being a nigga for a year. You know what I'm saying? This is our arrangement. This is what we do. You ain't never had a problem when you said it was sexy. Cool. So I'm gonna rock with it. And now, year later, 2 later, yeah, but I want you to raise your son. I want you to be a man now. So the nigga feel like, nah, that ain't what we talked about. That ain't what, you know what I'm saying?
Because
Just how
he's
we been
still stuck
rocking.
on the original
Because this is
agreement.
what you said we was,
And a
this is
woman
what you was
moves.
cool with.
She moves.
And the woman like, well, he don't never want to level up. He just always want to be a nigga. But nigga, you told me I could be a nigga.
Tell
You
him.
know what I'm saying? Like you okay with this at
What-
some point.
what
And you
changed
never
like that?
changed my understanding about it. So I thought it was right. I thought it was
I
Gucci.
think it's a lack of communication on both parts. Because she should have told you exactly what she was interested in. Because it wasn't that.
Which
It
is
wasn't.
why
It wasn't what you thought.
What
Being
if
the
she-
nigga.
What if she never knew? Maybe in time she
she
realized
never
that
knew
that's
that
what
wasn't
she-
enough. So it changes.
But why does it have to be on her?
But that's
It
why.
ain't
but no,
on
no,
her.
but-
Don't let
but
them
no,
do
this
it. It ain't
is
on
people.
her.
This is
It ain't on her.
people. But I will
Niggas ain't
say,
shit. You know what I'm saying?
the same. But she's right. Niggas ain't shit, but men are.
Yeah.
We the
Okay,
shit.
that's true. I can-
So
I
the
can
reality
make
of
the
it
shirt.
is that if we put ourselves in those positions, but even though you wanted more, you never communicated that with me. You never said anything.
Yeah.
You waited till you got tired of
And
it. And then you came and talked to me about it. By that time, you
conversation
halfway in
you out
and you
anyway.
halfway out.
Okay.
But why is it on her to have that conversation? You know what you can be.
No,
No.
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 When
I
you
like
change-
being a nigga.
Yeah.
You like
Yeah.
it.
Y'all finna say.
Why would I
that's what we
change
like.
You change for the woman you want.
No.
Yes, you
No.
would.
Yes,
you
Yes,
do.
you would.
I'm gonna make that change from the jump though. It's not gonna be 2
Exactly.
years
It
in.
don't matter.
You're not
You
gonna
need to
change because I want you to change. You're gonna change for yourself.
I'm
Well,
changing
that'll
because I
never
want
work.
to, and because I
You
feel like
change
I'm
for who
going to
you
be a
want to.
better person for that individual. But I'm still ultimately doing it for me, whether she's
Of
here or
course
not.
you're doing it for yourself. But if she's not the one that you want to be with, I promise you're gonna always be that nigga. You're
Yeah.
not gonna be that man.
I'm gonna be a nigga. You're
Exactly.
absolutely right.
You're gonna change
But
for
then
who
say-
you want
say
to change
you
for.
wanna-
But
So
she
it's not on
asked-
her.
But she asked, why is it on the woman?
It's not.
In those situations, I feel like it is.
So
Not
you,
in all
so
situations.
so basically, y'all sending y'all representative.
No,
I said that.
no. I'm just saying.
You
I'm just
sending
saying.
your
I'm
representative.
just
Nigga
saying.
is
If
representative.
If you know
if-
that you
That's
can
not
be
who you
a
is.
top-notch man,
it wouldn't be on her.
In that
I'm just
moment of
saying,
my life,
if
I
she
am
was
the
a
nigga.
it would be
I'm
on
the
her.
nigga.
In that relationship, you're choosing to be that
You are
nigga. You ain't that
accepting
nigga
this
when you go home with your mama. You
Oh.
ain't that nigga with your nieces and your baby. So you choosing to be that nigga for that woman.
What if I don't? Well, you know what?
If
You-
you ran-
She's right.
If
She's
you
right.
ran into a
She right.
woman-
D, come and tell you why.
But you accepted
Hold
it.
on. True. But I didn't deem.
Okay.
Hold on.
So-
I didn't deem
It
her worthy.
matters.
I didn't deem
He
her
didn't
worthy.
deem her worthy.
I didn't
Right
deem her
there.
worthy. So they're absolutely right.
So
Because
then-
I didn't deem you worthy, that's why I'm a treat. I'm gonna be a nigga.
and
versus
say
being
that
a man.
nigga, you come in your nigga self, and then you approach a woman that they ain't taking that shit.
From day one.
Exactly.
From day one,
That's,
she
I'm
say,
cool with that.
oh, you cute, Papa, but all this
I
other
with
shit
that.
you got going on,
It needs to be said.
and watch you scratch that shit off.
Nah.
I can be anything you want me to be.
No, for real.
What you
It
need me
needs to be said.
So
But
and
it's
that's
not
why
said.
to me.
And
Because
that's
they
why
take
I feel
mine.
like,
But the real question
But
is
why
that
you
man,
can't make
which
that
one is he?
decision for you?
So which one is he?
listen,
Exactly.
Why you
Listen,
can't make that
that's-
decision from the
which one
start?
is-
Why you come
because-
as a nigga? Hoping
because
she's
listen,
okay with that.
That is the main difference from being with somebody and finding a soulmate. At the end of the day, I don't know what I could be willed to doing until I was with her. Like I didn't know what I would want to do better for myself as a man until this woman made me feel like I could.
You
Or
didn't have
it'd be
an
worth-
ideal of what a good man is?
You would think we would. Common sense is not common.
All right.
You would
valid.
think these ideologies that we have are so common across the board for people to just think and feel.
Thinking of what I was saying.
I just got one question.
People don't think this way.
If they don't have that thought,
They don't.
if they don't have that thought of what a good man is without it being shown to them, how the hell y'all know what a good woman is?
Ooh.
We don't.
How y'all can tell
No,
us
that's a
how
great
to supposed to
question.
be,
That's a
what to
great
be, how to
question.
be?
But
How y'all can make that decision
why,
for us? If
hold
y'all
on, let's go here again.
I got a question real
Because why is it on us to build you to that man?
I didn't say it was.
But that's the problem, because y'all jump from woman to woman and never take time for yourself.
Y'all, I want to separate myself. I want to take a moment right now to separate myself from y'all because I'm not in that.
I
Okay.
understand that, but for the sake of you being
But for
a-
the sake of the
you being a
conversation, I only said that for the sense of a woman who has accepted a nigga who was openly a nigga, and you accepted him with a hidden expectation that you wanted him to be great. That woman, I'm faulting. I'm not saying any man. I'm faulting that woman because that woman accepted this nigga with a hidden agenda that she could shape him up, mold him up, dress him
Yes,
differently, and
yes.
eventually he would change and become this intimate man.
Wait.
I'm holding that
Yes.
woman accountable.
But isn't that contradicting what you just said?
It is contradicting.
Because you said you might not know what you need to be as a man when you get with her, and then she done opened your eyes to something different. That you're contradicting yourself when you say
It is contradicting. The hurtful part is we're expecting it to be the same. I fuck hoes, I'm celebrating. You fuck hoes, you a hoe, and I don't want you. And you're disgusting to my counterparts. It's a contradicting, but because the expectation is we expecting this mentality, men and women, to be equal, it'll never be. Y'all are above us. And until y'all kind of accept that, then y'all won't look at, I guess, the flaws like I'm trying to raise a man. Nothing trying to raise a man, it's just that God made
maturity level is different.
God made a need for a man to have a woman because that woman was going to bring him to a higher level, and that man is going to bring that woman to a higher level. And in this particular area, that nigga needed that woman to bring him to a man.
Yes.
And it's not a problem. I'm not trying to like make y'all feel like it's a burden to carry. It's an honor that that y'all are able to do that for certain guys, and they can transform from niggas to men. It's a great testimony for us to be able to have, like, yeah, but this girl did it for me, bro. You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking to my bro, you be like, bro, how come you chose her? Well, she just did it for me, man.
Like Deion said, you have to deem her worthy. It's a bunch of good women in the world. Until you say that woman is the woman you want, it ain't gonna matter.
She has to, but in our cases, now
That's what
let me defend us. Because let me defend these men at this panel. Because in our cases, it's vice versa. We don't need a woman to make us from niggas to men. We're already men. So now it's to the point to where now all I need you to do is just come in and fill voids that I need you to fill. Wherever I'm weak, you're strong. Wherever you're strong, wherever you're strong, I can feel it. Or wherever you're weak, I can fill those voids for you. So now I need a person at this age to match. Cause I ain't here.
Maturity.
Yeah, because I ain't here and you're not here.
Your communication
You see what I'm
about
saying?
that, although that's what you need, you already came here. And you need her to fill voids. You gotta know what those voids is and be able to
Very
communicate
much
that
so.
for her.
Very much
Because
so.
then we're gonna be back in the situation of the reality
Yes.
and expectation.
Yes.
But like
Because-
Blaq said, you gotta come healed.
Mhm.
That's the key word. You gotta come healed.
But that's on
can't
both parties.
That's on both. Yeah,
That's on both
I
parties.
agree.
You know how many hurt women go into another relationship, she's still hurt? Same thing as men.
True.
You know, that's
Hurt women are cold blooded.
and the thing is
you don't
that
want to hurt no woman.
right. So I don't,
I
but I
got a
also
story.
as a man,
I-
it is, and this is where we can all disagree. As a man, I feel like that it's your responsibility to identify if that woman is hurt. You need to identify that because maybe she thinks she good, and you need to identify that. So because at the end of the day, it starts and ends with the man. We give them women are above us. I agree with you on that, but at the end of the day, it still starts and ends with us. It's your responsibility to identify if that woman, hey, let's pump the brakes on this. I noticed that you're still hurting from something. It ain't gotta be a relationship. It can be something, be life, whatever. I'm gonna pump the brakes on it. I don't want to pursue and get into this gumbo and make this worse than what it already is. But what we do as men, we just keep pressing the issue. And that's why, so she was already hurt when you got her. Now she enraged because you didn't fuck her over too. So now the next man ain't got a shot. He ain't got a chance. Because she gonna eat him alive. And he can never be worthy because of what these other cats did before. So she's stuck with it. Until she healed from that, she's stuck back. And these guys in the back is controlling her present spiritually.
But that's her responsibility to heal.
Exactly. But it's also as a man, it's my responsibility to be able to recognize that from the jump. Because sometimes you need to hear, hey baby, you hurt. And I see it from a different person, not mama, not sister, not brother, from a stranger. And be able to say, you know what, when you go get in that car and you cry, whatever, but you'll be like, damn, that nigga was right.
I do need to get over that.
Exactly. Exactly. At the end of the day, because what's wrong with a person if a man came to you like that when you was in your hurt season, you want to know what a woman really does? She gonna jump all over that nigga. And she gonna try to wrap her arms, her legs, her head around it, because now she don't want to let him go because she feel like this is the one.
No,
I'm not the one. I'm here to tell you, you need to heal, baby.
I feel like if we
You
were
need to heal.
able to love freely, that wouldn't happen. Because she's naturally gonna want to heal you. That's what women are. We are gonna nurture you. We want you to be a little baby. We just want you to be able to provide and protect.
But you can't want me to be a little baby and then talk about me about being a little baby.
I said we want you to be a little baby, but we want you to provide and protect. We don't need you to be no,
Yeah.
we don't need you out here being,
Right.
Because I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
But we want to take care of you. We want to heal you because that's our strong suit.
Absolutely.
I don't even know you, and I want to make sure you straight.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? We want to do that, but we get caught up in all that other stuff, all your other needs, and then providing those needs as well. You take something from me. Now you got my heart. You got my soul. Now we all tied together, and you want me to understand that you was in a space. You was in a space, and I'm trying to help you out that space. So why you took my stuff?
But here's the thing. I've heard a young lady tell me, hey, when you down, I'm down because I just want to fix it. I just want to fix it.
And that becomes
But hold on.
need for
But hold on. But in the moment of just wanting to fix it, you first got to give me an opportunity to do it on my own.
That's true.
To do it on my
But
own.
y'all also don't have to get entangled in that project.
But you can't get frustrated when I say, hey, I'm okay, I'm good.
No.
Even though you know.
It'll be great.
Hold on. But I'm saying, even you can know something is wrong, but say, no, if I tell you, no, I'm okay, I'm good, you have to learn how to take that, because have enough faith and confidence in me to know that he gonna take care of it. It's gonna be good.
I probably will.
You feel what I'm saying?
If
Versus
I see you
saying,
next time,
now I'm
it's not
frustrated
over.
because you won't let me help you. I really might have this situation under control, but because you're nurturers by nature, you are hell bent on making sure I want to help him fix it. But now I'm mad and I'm frustrated because he won't allow me to help him fix it. But I got it.
But that's where
I
the
got it.
wisdom. But that's where the wisdom of a woman come in. You can have it. You fuck it up. I'll be right there. But I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna let you do you. When that shit crumble, I'm there. If it's up, I'm there. But most women gotta learn to shut up and let you do that.
Right.
I had to learn it. I wanted to fix, but nah, I gotta let you.
But it's also a trust thing too, from a man's perspective, because I'm in a position now to where, let's just say I'm coming out of stuff, and everybody that helped me threw it back in my face. So now I'm kind of skeptical if I want you to help me. You have to be at peace with the fact that, hey, he won't do it on his own. What you just said, I'll be there if he calls on me or if he needs me to help him, but I'm going to allow him to do this on his own.
I just feel like fears affect vulnerability.
Fears of what?
Fear affects vulnerability in relationships.
Okay.
And she said people should come into relationships openly. And I just feel like
I
that
think
is
everybody should be open, period.
period. That
Like
would be
they
a
wouldn't have to
beautiful
be in a
thing.
relationship for me to help heal you.
That would
You
be
get what I'm saying?
beautiful. But unfortunately, social media age that we in,
We in
the
a fucked up
acting,
place.
at the end of the day, all of us are good. You go on a date right now, you try to ask that
Tell
person,
me
she
about it.
good.
Right.
He good. I ain't
Right.
never had no problems.
Right.
I'm you know what I'm saying? So I'm never knowing. But when you in it, the inability to be vulnerable, or the fact that what I want to give you is contingent upon what you give me, and that chess match is going on so often, I don't think we ever really getting real vulnerability from either party until it's too late, or until after the fact. So at the end of the day, when you get into these relationships, I just feel like emotionally, I wish it was more openness, because whatever it is I wanted, whatever it is I'm looking for, and whatever, like, when you say, I feel like God should deem the woman worthy, you said something like that, right? That's a discovery process. And I know, the movies and stuff will make it seem like, oh, when I met her, I just knew. Well, some cases, but in other cases, I haven't discovered that. Because prior to who did it for me, I was pursuing being happy. I just told D this before we started. I used to pursue being happy, but being happy was contingent upon that person making me happy. They held all the tools to my happiness. So as soon as they took it away, I wasn't happy. Okay, but then in that season that you allowed me to have by myself, thank you, God, I found peace. So now I don't know that she was my soulmate or she did it for me until I got in this relationship with this person that also never affected that peace. That's the one. And when that happens, it could be in the midst of something. I didn't know it when I met you. And I met you, you just had a nice ass. I took you on a date, we was talking. But as we grew, it was more than that. And you never affected that peace that I found by myself. You got to do it by yourself. And I found by myself. And because you never affected that, you grew it. Oh, this might be the one I need to be vulnerable with.
So now she's elevated you without doing it purposely. It was organically now.
She wasn't in my ear.
Exactly.
I found
she didn't have
to allow
me
to discover it.
And then you were a better man. You were no longer a
I
nigga.
receive it different.
You was no longer a nigga.
I'm no longer
because
a nigga.
you found peace. Now you're a man. So now she's being met. She's met a man whole.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Here's the flip side of that. A whole man
intimidates
a hurt woman. A whole man put together, ready, equipped, emotionally stable, wanting to invest, openly vulnerable. A girl told me, you too ready.
Well, then that's not your girl.
No, and that's fine. I feel you, but I'm just saying. But it ain't just her.
But no, that's true.
But it's a pool of them. There's a pool of those weak women.
It is.
And it's a pool of those weak men. You let them swim amongst each other. You will find the strong woman that's looking for the strong man. And I think that's what's happening. Y'all intersecting each other, and it's not going to be compatible that way.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be compatible that way. But a lot of this stuff is easier said than done as far as the communication thing goes, because I'm a great communicator, but I still have to work my way up to say certain things to my wife. But let's say, for example, I have a client. Let's name him Maurice. And he was with this lady for 20 years. They got grown kids, 3 grown kids. And they was toxic though, fucked up individuals. They just fucked on each other. She burnt them 33 times and all kinds of shit, right? But it's my client. He comes share this. Yeah. No, dude.
With the on or the two.
She mistreated him a lot. But on him, he was the battered person in this relationship. So he left. He leaves this girl, but he loves this girl. And while he was leaving this girl, he had a friend that was trying to help him, talk to him, smoke with him, chill with him. And then they get together because now she wanted to help him get over this woman, right?
Yes. Sounds like everybody.
Get with this girl, get her pregnant. She get pregnant immediately, seemed like. She got pregnant, they have a baby, and now he fucked up because he got another baby out, but not that they live together, so whatever. But he hanging out every day. Baby, a week old. He told me this day before yesterday. The baby a week old. He said she called him mad, saying, the baby ain't seen you. Baby ain't seen you in 3 days. But when he tried to call his other kids, she yelled at him because, why you calling over there to see what that bitch doing? Why you calling over there whatever, because their kids pretty older, 16, 17, and one 19 years old, something like that. So why you calling over there to see what bitch, she won't let him be a parent to the other kids, which is going to take us into our next segment. But she won't let him be a parent to these other kids because she feel like they built a family, a new family now. And that, And look, she said that you weren't even happy over there. All I had to do to get you out of there, all I did to heal you from that, and you stuck over there, but he's stuck like, how do I tell her that I've been with this woman 20 years and I love her? And that love ain't gonna ever go away, especially not the love I have to love her, to care for her, and to take care of my kids. And now I'm resenting you because you want me to fuck that up to show you some type of love, now that you got another baby by me.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said, I'm just gonna run. I said, oh, you can't run.
Where he gonna go?
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know, but they bring this stuff to me because they trust me. So I'm trying to gather what he's feeling and be like, look, Daddy, you still gotta be a daddy, but you gotta communicate exactly what you're saying to me. I'm telling her that. She know that. And she can't know that
So
if this is the case.
with women like that, right? Like, I can't never fuck with no woman like that because you jealous of my
But
kid.
he didn't know that one was gonna be like that. Mind you,
never
why
know.
he was breaking up with the girl, she was all everything,
Mhm.
whatever you need to heal, I got you. We're gonna get through this, everything's gonna be good. Then she get pregnant and the whole thing changed. And it fucked me up too. Because I didn't see it coming from the girl
She think he's supposed to stop everything over there
and
build
be a
this
new family over here. Because that
And
family,
forget about
one,
them.
she said they grown, and two, you wasn't even happy over there. Why you keep trying to figure out what's going on? Well, she's not figuring out. He used to being a part of it. It's been less than it's been a year.
Absolutely.
So he's used to being there, like, to know shit, school shit, house shit,
Yeah.
shit. And I can't because you now have a little baby. So get this. She popped some in his locks out. Whole circle of them. I was 5 or 6 of them.
Oh,
So
no.
he came to me, and when he told me the stuff, so I'm like, just go get them, and I'm gonna put them back on. I'm a lock tech, so I'm gonna put them back on. She stole the man locks.
She young.
Voodoo.
Yeah, she in her 20s. I don't know. I don't want to say that, but she's in her 20s. He's in his 30s, late 30s. And yeah, the bitch stole the locks. So I make him some locks and I'm putting it on. Why she sent us a picture of the locks? Girl, she sent us a picture of the locks, and I'm trying not to lose my whole fucking
Right.
shit. And he
Because it's your brand.
just so sad. He just like, see, I don't even know what to look at the bitch doing. Bitch said it be locked. And I'm like, he's like, I ain't going back. He calling his sister to go over there to get his stuff. And he's like, I ain't going back. I'm just gonna run. I ain't never going.
Man. This is the one he got the week
He got a week old baby with this girl.
But that go into the
She's postpartum for sure.
the made up topic that we just said, is the problem really co-parenting? Because at the end of the day, I just feel like emotions is a real drug. First of all, you can be high and an addict on emotions, and that plays a huge part in those situations, especially like relationally. You probably don't like it because I've been giving the guys too much credit, but let me just say both parties.
Okay.
What makes it easy, what has made it too easy to be an infidel or a cheater, or what makes it too easy these days is unfortunately outlook and how it seems has trumped morals. So the girl side piece and the nigga side piece, they are like thrilled by being able to get this person from this relationship, from this person who they with.
Competition.
And it's a satisfying feeling for these people to have fucked on somebody else's man or woman. Okay? And that has trumped morals. So then you take that into co-parenting. You said he had a baby. Okay, not until I had another baby. And all of a sudden, now I changed. You said, oh, well, you should have knew that. Well, she wasn't that whack until I got this other girl pregnant. And then something changed in her to now try to use this kid to play. And listen, at the end of the day, I don't think the problem is co-parenting. There's a drug out here called emotions. And that emotions plays on the individual that wants to get back at this other individual for whatever reason. And the kids will either be used as pawns, will either be used as scapegoats, will be used as a reason why you ain't calling me. I think you said in the comments, how come you ain't checked on your kids? But I wanted you to come check on me. But I just asked, you ain't checked on your kids in 3 days.
Right.
So, see what I'm saying? The baby didn't ask why daddy ain't checked on me. You just used the kid. Why you ain't checked on your kids?
That baby don't
I ain't
even
heard
know
from you.
six right now.
See what I'm saying? And I think that ultimately causes the problem, and then the response from the man or from the woman, whoever is being done wrong, who's ever wronged, is to try to make this other person feel our feelings. You got me fucked up. Okay, well, I'm probably pulling up or something. Right. You got my kids, so or I'm calling you and I'm spending too much wasted energy. You know what I'm saying? I said it earlier. Generation. That's what it is. We fuel on conflict. I don't know why, and whoever say they know this line until they in a situation, you'll see a different person in that person. I don't know why. We fuel on conflict. And when I say fuel on conflict, it don't even mean if you are the offensive person that fuels on conflict. We have that person, and we also have the defensive person that fuels on conflict. And so much so, if you're not giving me conflict, I'm going to create a conflict. You know, it's a drug. It's like, it's
a lot of people want conflict because they're not healed. When you at peace, you don't want that shit. I don't want none of that shit. I ain't trying to argue with nobody.
Grew up with that type of abuse of surviving traumas, surviving abuse of somebody yelling at you, and that's okay because that's my uncle and somebody, whatever. Surviving that trauma, you go look for that shit as adults, and you try to put them around just so you're comfortable because you're familiar with that. But we gotta break that.
We gotta heal.
We gotta let that shit go.
That's good.
I used to be toxic. I used to be a hothead. I used to fight, and I used to do all types of crazy. Yeah, I really did. And then after I had my daughter with her dad, I used to be his ass. Like we used to fight, and I just didn't see nothing but red, right? And then I grew up. I just sat down one day.
Ironically, you're wearing red.
I was like, and I had to just stop and think, like, this is not helping us. Like it ain't always been good with us with co-parenting, but like I had to take the hurt out of it. Both of us take the hurt out of it.
Right.
It's
back to emotion. I see what you're doing.
It's a tough topic. We're talking about now. We can kind of flip the switch, y'all. I'm gonna get this topic right one day. Say it again, D.
Is the problem really co-parenting?
Is the problem really co-parenting? It's a very touchy topic because let's see, 4 of us out of the 6 that's here has children. And I know these people on a personal level. I consider all of them great parents.
Hey, bro.
But it's definitely a touchy subject for me because it's always comparisons. It's more so of you do this with this kids, but you don't do this with this kids.
Oh God.
But you do this with this kids, but you don't do this with this kids. And you did this over here, but you didn't do this over here. But did you allow me to do this over here? Did you allow me to do this over here? Did you give me access to do this over here? Or did you give me access to do this over here? You understand what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where you have to find what we've been talking about, that peace. Because if not, for a man, a real man, the only thing that will get you out of peace is when somebody is playing about your kids. Money don't get you out of peace. A nigga owe me money. There's some niggas that owe me money right now. If none of that type of stuff gets me out of peace. When you start talking about the way I parent or the lack thereof, or I'm not doing, or I could do this, you're messing with everything. And it takes you out of peace until you find a way to say, you know what, God, my peace is even more important than this.
Yeah.
Because you know what I do. You know what I try to do, the efforts I make, the things, the extra miles that I do. Because I don't think
try to do stuff.
Right, but I don't think women I don't think women sit down sometimes. Not all women, some. To sit down and take an opportunity to think about the sacrifices that the men make also. Look, I understand. I love the woman. Y'all do something that we'll never be able to do. Y'all can carry a child for 9 months. Y'all can bear some pains that we probably will never understand. I love y'all for that. I honor and I serve the woman for that. I give the mother of my children stuff on their birthday, Christmas, for Mother's Day. I try to show them honor at all costs the best way I know how. Now, the flip part about it is that do you take time to just sit back and really consider, hey, you know what? he is doing this. He does do this. He does his best to do what he can do when he can do. Because there's other obligations that we have as well. Of course, our children are our number one option. But goddamn, it takes finances to raise these children. So I got to go to work. You know what I'm saying? And it takes
It ain't
this.
just because of the king.
No. But I'm saying, but you also have other responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't. I get that.
It's
No,
But it's
different.
forced. But it's forced.
Nah, it's different.
Listen to me. Just hear me out for a second.
Say it.
It's forced for us to sympathize with y'all.
What's
But
the
nobody ever sympathizes with the man. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's nothing. We have to sympathize with y'all.
What you need a pat on the back to go to work? You need
No.
a cookie because I'm
No.
going back.
No.
What's the
But
problem?
But if I say that same thing to y'all, you get offended.
No, listen.
You
Hey,
said, come
you
on,
cannot say
man.
that
Come
to
on.
no
Let's
woman,
be
though.
real about
No,
it.
Yeah,
Let's be real about it. Let's be real about it.
Put that on the shirt.
Let's be real about it.
Put that on the
If we
shirt.
wasn't
Where's
working women, it'd be different, right? You gotta talk to a housewife. Cause I work too, right? I work, I do all this shit with the kids. You work too, right?
I'm not,
Okay.
all I'm saying is
Well-
take a moment to consider. I'm
I
not
understand.
asking you to do anything else, but consider what I have going on. You see what I'm saying? Because obviously, hold on, because obviously, maybe you don't know or you don't care to know, but I'm expected to know what you got going on. You see what I'm saying? It's an expectation for me, what we was talking about earlier. But with y'all, it's like, shit, it don't even matter. He's supposed to do this. It don't even matter. He's supposed to do this. You see what I'm saying? And I'm trying to do that. And I am going to do that. None of that matters because you don't care about what
I think I do.
What?
The woman is having to endure the same thing that you're enduring.
And I sympathize.
But I feel
Sympathy
no.
don't mean
But this is the problem. To bring it all the way home. Neither one of them should be worried about what each other has to do.
True.
And because they both are, we're having a problem with co-parenting.
Yes.
This is what I'm saying. Is the problem really co-parenting? Because once I start worrying about everything that you got to do and why that affected you to come get this kid, and she start worrying about, well, do you got the bitch over there still? Or,
Yeah.
oh, you know, you only act funny when the bitch. And now our co-parenting,
It's all
it's off, man.
True.
I don't feel like I can give a damn
about
what you
dating,
do.
what
You can be in Alaska, just be there at the police station on Thursday. Damn it, you know what I'm saying? Like, period. At the end of the day, I don't care because at the end of the day, a lot of the things
And
that
that's fucking crazy.
Very
He said
crazy.
meet at the police
at the
station.
police station.
Yeah,
Why?
that's a whole nother thing.
Why?
We're
I'm
gonna
gonna tell you
go
why. No. I'm gonna tell you why. Everything that the other co-parent, if y'all have a bad co-parenting relationship, everything the other co-parent will do is totally contingent upon them expecting you to act like your yesterday you.
Very true.
Whatever that is. And the very minute you don't deliver the yesterday you, that also bothers them because we're in a generational conflict. People get off on conflict. Even if you're not giving me conflict, that angers me. So they're trying to get a response always. That's the only agenda because it ain't about these kids.
Right.
So you're trying to get a response. At the very minute I don't give you a response, there's a conflict. So I have to meet you at the police station because you're gonna act a certain kind of way that you expected me to act or that I used to act. So I have to meet you at the police station. Why? So I can just get my kid. That makes you mad.
But see, okay, yeah, then perhaps, okay.
Yeah, digest it.
It's a lot, Blaq.
Digest it.
The relationship has gotten so bad that we
Yeah.
have to meet at the police station
Yeah.
to co-parent. But collectively, we want to show the children that.
If it was about the kid, we shouldn't be here.
Absolutely right.
Which is why I'm saying, is the problem really co-parenting? Because without the kids, we shouldn't be here. I can't come to your house because when I come to your house at 5:57, you'll say, "Oh, you nigga, you need to wait in the car. It's not 6 yet." You know, just silly shit. You know what I'm saying?
Who is these women?
See what I'm saying? Just silly shit. Like it ain't 6 yet. Go wait in your car.
What
Okay,
do
well
you
just
say about the women that didn't go through all of this?
Yeah.
Come get your child.
okay.
Come get your kid.
Now there,
Please.
we're going there.
Right.
Now,
Come
yeah,
get your
yeah,
kid.
yeah,
I don't care that you got married to my ex best friend.
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
I don't
So
know
come get your
those
kid. Both of y'all can pull up.
Hey,
It's not about me,
I
you,
would,
and her. It's
I
about
would
them.
love to meet that woman.
Listen.
And you talk to her.
That's what I'm saying. I would love
You're
this.
talking to her.
Listen, talk to that woman. Y'all need to talk to that woman, that other woman.
I
Y'all
know
need to
women
talk
that'll
to
go crazy on you for sure. But I ain't meet that woman that y'all talk about, that y'all say that put men in those positions. I haven't met her ever. And I know a bunch of bitches. I know women that'll spaz on you and make life maybe a little difficult timing wise. But I don't know women like that. So I'm curious because I don't have kids and I'm outside of that world. Is that a projection on what you think women would do to you? Okay.
I don't even have kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see all the time they use it at a spite and at a leverage.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can't see your kid. Don't pick him up this time. What's the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna drive over there and try to go get him.
Right.
And now you got a conflict.
Now you got to provoke.
Right.
Okay.
I think at the end of the day, me and D, we'll fight afterwards. So
We're no conflict.
as crazy as this about to sound, I can't even believe I'm actually saying it, but when I process it, it's real.
Okay. I'm scared.
Those women that you saying you've never met, and the women that y'all are that we've never met. Well, yes, I have.
Yeah.
But
That you know.
no, I've met them. I've been with them.
No, yeah.
I guess you don't have kids, by.
There you go.
Hold on.
I got a weird little
Hold on,
type.
but-
Y'all picked the wrong.
But to be 100% honest, we made them women the way they were. Whatever we did to them,
Yeah, we don't fight. I disagree.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Whatever we did to them relationally has provoked them into thinking two things. Either A, I'm gonna make life miserable for him because he did me this way, or B, I still want him. And this is a way to get his attention, maybe for him to quote unquote see that this still could be. In your messed up brain, I don't understand how you think that, but it is very true. So what's happening is that we didn't know that these women was like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about all men, but we didn't know that if you have a bad co-parenting relationship, or if it's not the way you expect it to be or should be, you didn't know that woman was going to provoke you in different ways. You had no idea. If you was with that woman, you never would have thought that. But the minute you're not with that woman, she's totally different. I'm saying whatever we did or didn't do, for lack of better words, has provoked them into thinking, I'm going to use this kid as leverage because you're going to suffer for whatever it is that you did to me. So I am man enough to take responsibilities. Hold on. For the relationship. Hear me. I am man enough to take responsibilities for the relationship and apologize for hurting you in any aspect that I did. Relationally.
Come on, Blaq man.
But that has nothing to do with how we're supposed to do this. Because all we should care about is that child. Those children, that child, whatever. That's the only thing that matters to me. That's the only thing that should matter to you. One more thing. What you're doing, talking about the women or even the man, whomever, is you're trying to cross these things and make them one. And now that we're apart, it's impossible for them to be one. And it will never be one. You have to learn how to get out of your emotions and find a way to co-parent with this individual out of your emotions and keep only the emotions that is for the child. That's it. And if you do that, then I promise you, I have good relationships. Like it's nice. Sometimes it can be night and day. Sometimes it's not night and day. But the reality of it is that the man still controls the narrative. You have to find ways or way to say, you know what? Whatever your emotions is, I'm not going to let them affect me. Whatever I'm allowed to do, I will do. Whatever I'm not allowed to do, it is what it is. Because until they make peace, bro, you can be an honorable scholar at taking care of your child whenever you can. But they'll never see it in their light because they're still stuck in past situations. or your past situation with them. It's unfortunate, but this happens on both sides, because this happens on the men's side too, because there's a lot of men that don't want to take care of their kids because they ain't with the woman no more. Weird.
Stupid.
I understand that.
Foolish.
So I'm not never gonna make this just about women and men. Unfortunately, y'all, and I'm talking, when I say y'all, this side don't get a lot of spotlight. And what I mean by that is the man that is actually really trying. And he's doing everything he can, and things are being blocked for absolutely no reason. That doesn't get a lot of spotlight. Only thing that gets spotlight is the nigga that don't want to take care of his kids.
Okay.
What about the guy that actually do
What
want to
about
be
the guy
there?
that do
Yeah,
wanna be
so
there?
that doesn't get spotlight. So
Real
all
time.
I'm trying to do is just shed light on that. So I'm not making it
Real
about greater or less.
Real time.
I understand that there are some guys out there that won't go get their kids whenever. And I also understand that there are some guys that want it and they're just not able to at this time, you know, for incarceration reasons or anything. What we have to do is have an understanding and find some type of dialogue to say, okay, why is it so hard? And this is to add on to the topic. Why is it so hard to communicate about our kids?
Okay.
Because I only want to communicate about my kids.
No.
No. Emotionally, that girl you used to be with, y'all had a kid together. Tell them to their face with actions, with words, with seriousness. I only want to talk to you about my kids. Inside of them, emotionally, it hurts. And I'm gonna tell you why it hurts. Because at the end of the day, for whatever reason, which is why I said we do gotta fight, because I ain't buying nothing, I ain't taking ownership for nothing, because you chose to leave.
Again,
But
I'm only taking ownership for the relationship part.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but hold on, I'm gonna come back to it.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back to it. I'm not, because you chose to leave, in my case.
Mhm.
And in your choice of leaving, I exhausted 90 days of attempting to call you and all 7 of your siblings to no response. I filed divorce. We're done. There's nothing else for me to fight for. Cool. But now about this kid, I have full investment through your foolishness to still pursue being being a father to my daughter. And that makes you feel like, why you didn't put all that energy into fighting for our marriage?
Why you gotta say it
Why you know what I'm saying? Why you?
Right. That was a flashback.
Yeah.
To the teeth. But
You know what I'm saying? Well,
That's
But
hope
you
without
did
saying,
though, right?
saying what you said.
But you did.
My
You
mom.
for the 90 days.
Mama.
Yeah,
So what more she want?
I agree with that 100%. I agree with that mentality 100%. But see how you apologize for the relationship, and that's what's been okay for you. That's not okay, because it's not just a relationship. She invested an ideal of her life with you, her entire life, and then she had a kid with you. So now she's at least got to be governed to you some type of way for 18 years, right? So now I'm gonna make
The
this.
rest of her life.
Oh,
I don't stop
that's
parenting for
even
18.
better. That's
What
even
father
better.
does that? What real?
So now I'm invested in you for the rest of my life, regardless of the relationship,
Absolutely.
getting anything from it, anything. I'm here. So why would I make your shit hard?
No, for real.
Because you hurt me.
You hurt me too. That's why I'm gonna make your life hard.
And
I'm
now we're
invested
arguing
for the
about
rest
our
of
feelings.
Look, now
And the
we're
co-parent
invested for
relationship
the
is trash.
rest of our life. You want this toxicity for the rest of your life?
That makes
So
sense
it's
to
not
me.
an apology.
That makes
It's a
sense.
whole conversation.
But it ain't gonna be had.
It's a lot of conversations on, we had this plan, and that didn't work out.
Didn't work
You
out.
get what I'm saying?
That hurt me.
With her sitting on that hurt, or even him sitting on that hurt, you're not gonna build through it. You're gonna sit on the hurt.
But I'm man enough, because I think sometimes at the end of the day, somebody has to be the bigger person. And somebody also has to be honest. I am man enough to say, you know what? I could have done some things better in my marriage.
I don't want to talk to you about my relationship.
I get that though, but I
my
don't.
relationship.
But I get it. But I'm man
I
enough
The
don't
to.
person?
Yeah, I don't want to talk to her about our relationship.
No, but I
I
have
don't even
to.
want to take care of that.
But I have to. But I have to do this. So this phone
But
does. So this phone
It'll
does this.
relieve a lot of
I
hurt.
gotta close the casket. I gotta close the casket.
I don't
I gotta
gotta
close
close
it.
it.
If you're not willing to close the casket, then that casket stays open and that stays alive. So I need to have this conversation with you about that part of it so you can find some type of peace, hopefully, that you know that this is no longer going to be. This no longer will happen. This is what some people live in fantasy worlds. If this isn't your fantasy, whatever, that's fine. But there's, but it doesn't matter. Even before that, that means, well, it could be, or she could be still
It's a
living in a
control thing.
Yeah.
Now I'm not talking about none of this old stuff.
No.
Whatever
I
picture
don't
she
even
put
have that
in,
conversation.
When you call, why I don't get it. I don't know. Can I speak to the baby? I don't want to talk.
She won't answer the call.
So is the problem co-parenting or the relationship with the other parent?
No, it's next level co-parenting now.
I don't think the problem is ever
That's what I'm
co-parenting.
saying. Is it the relationship with the person before you have the kid that causes the
Sure.
spite and the leverage that they use against you?
Sure.
Or does it happen when the kid's already born?
I think it could be a combination of both.
Yeah,
I think it could be a combination of both.
But I think for men, like that woman showed you a little bit of her crazy.
You
Whether it was with
No,
her
facts.
friends, but whether it was with her friends or when out somewhere, you saw a little bit, you didn't think it was gonna happen to you.
Yep.
Shit
So-
got bad, and now it happened to you. But you
So-
knew a little
She
bit of
got
something out
burned.
there for me.
So, but this is
But how do you
but
walk
this is
out of that
why.
in the moment of knowing that?
But
Like,
this is
you
why,
don't
though.
walk out of that.
But this is why. Emotionally, I was in debt. Because I didn't realize how serious postpartum depression was.
Mhm.
So while you're going through these situations that should have red flagged me, no, we didn't lost 2 sets of twins before. We didn't miscarried these kids. It's just tough on her right now. I'm gonna give some understanding. I am
Absolutely. Supposed to.
So I don't see it as a red flag.
Supposed to.
When you was having a problem with latch issues and you were saying I wasn't supporting you, I'm working 16 hours and I'm paying $100 for that latch consultant to come to the house 3 times a week. That is support.
That is support.
That is, and you feel like it's not. It's an argument. But the perspective is everything. I'm very supportive. I'm supporting. And then, okay, well, to alleviate this $100 that I'm having to pay 3 times a week that you saying I ain't being supportive enough, let's alleviate that. We're gonna breast pump. You're still getting the milk. You feel like that's not being understood because you want to have breastfeeding experience, but it's not working, baby. But it's not working, baby. So we're gonna put that same breast milk in this bottle, and that baby gonna be happy, and you're gonna have peace. And that's supporting the situation, whether you see it or not.
Yeah.
But-
It's not
but I'm
supporting-
just
no,
saying.
You're trying to find a solution.
It's supporting the
for that
situation.
for her situation, but you're not emotionally
Exactly.
understanding where she's at.
Exactly.
You're not
It's not
saying,
working.
look,
No,
baby,
but
let's just
that's-
use this
that's
pump
important.
because it's gonna make you
Why
less
is
of a
not
mother.
finding a
Because
solution not supporting?
it's because you're not having a conversation. You just doing shit. You can't just fix everything with action. You gotta talk
not
about
a
some
solution.
shit.
Exactly.
She needed to know that you don't. That this is okay. You're not gonna
Yeah.
see her away.
Because
Her whole-
you have to add in the emotional aspect. In her mind, I'm not a great mother because I can't get this baby to latch to my
Exactly.
titty. That
And
in
you
her
trying to
mind.
pay.
And yes, you don't
So
pay.
I gotta communicate that,
No,
or she gotta
together.
communicate that.
You have to
Together.
understand where she's at. She needs to communicate it though.
I think, listen,
It's
She needs to
you're not
communicate
telling
it.
me
It's not,
that.
hey,
She
baby,
should
okay,
she
so
should
let's
tell
say-
you, hey babe, you paying for this lactation, lady,
Listen,
and she
So y'all
can't.
put a lot into us,
So-
but we put a lot on y'all.
So Blaq. I'm working 16 hours. I'm working 16 hours. Consider that.
I understand.
I'm working 16 hours and I have to somehow know what you don't say.
What if she just wanted you to work 8 hours?
I-
Wait. What if she wanted you to work 8 hours?
Can't
and
work.
hold her at night?
Can't do
Because I
that.
don't give a shit
Because you're
about your
unemployed.
$100. I don't give a shit about your $100.
It's
If I'm
unfortunate.
stressed,
You're unemployed.
okay.
I gotta do it.
Well, then work 12. Work 12.
No.
But we over here. No, I'm for
You
real.
gotta make
At
it.
the end of the day, you
No, no, no,
cannot
no, no,
hold
no,
nobody
no,
accountable for
no,
something
no.
you didn't tell
You
them.
better be.
But
It's a
that's
big
what
Work
mistake
24
that's
hours.
made
Go
in-
work. I'll give that.
LV,
24 hours.
LV,
I'll give that. Go work.
LV.
But she's still a big obligation to you.
Listen,
Although you got
How
those
can I
16
hold?
hours to
How
work,
can I hold anybody accountable for anything I never told them?
it's not
We're
holding
not
you
saying
accountable.
we're saying yes, she should tell you. But your response shouldn't be, well, I'm paying $100 for the lactation specialist.
That's never said. That's just a different perspective
But
that's
that's
going
what I'm
on.
saying. I'm saying now in your situation, she might not have told. Yes, she should say, hey babe, I don't know what to do. And mentally I'm out of it because I can't figure out why this child
It's the conversation
won't latch on to this
and
titty.
her.
It don't want to do it.
It's easy
So
to
that's
say.
why I
But it
said,
doesn't mean that she wants you to solve it for her.
but in the relationship, that's why I said in the relationship, I never knew how serious postpartum
That's
depression
where
was.
it
I said that, right? Because you didn't
That's the first
communicate.
part where you
I
started.
said that.
You never knew.
I
how
never knew
serious
that.
it was.
And she
She
never
didn't
told me.
realize how far she was into it. Postpartum depression is not something that you'll ever wake up and say, I'm depressed.
Right.
you will never understand
Right.
why you're feeling the way that you're feeling. Therefore, you can never express those feelings. You can never determine what it is making you do the things that you're doing.
So how are you
because
determining
don't
us to do
Come
it?
on.
So how you
That's
here?
not what
So
I'm
how we
saying. I'm
supposed to
saying
know?
what he said. He started saying that he didn't understand how difficult postpartum depression
I
was.
started with
I don't
He
either.
started with that.
I started
And
with
that's
it.
why you can't make a solution to the problem because neither of you know how serious the problem was.
She
But that's-
didn't know and you didn't know.
Yeah.
So how does she communicate that
This
to
is
you?
also
She didn't.
this is also just my
Not
conclusion.
that she did.
Yeah,
How
this
can
is
she
my-
if
I
she does
feel
not know
like
how far she
There's a lot of postpartum
She
depression.
might
And what
not
she
have
said,
had postpartum depression, having a baby, period.
no, but this is
And
why I
coming
think it
back
is.
out of it.
Because what you said, I've also concluded. Meaning the fact that now, still today, you have a problem with the child going to the father and being concerned about their welfare. Now, why would your emotions still be kind of concerned about their welfare when the child is away from you? Well, let's go back to when we was together and you had a problem with me just taking a baby away from you when you was trying to latch and to give her a bottle. That bothered you. So in my mind, I'm putting it together. I'm like, well, maybe it wasn't just about trying to put the breast milk in the bottle. Maybe she thought I was taking away her experience as a mother to feed the baby. I don't know. But without conversation, I don't know. Which is why I said, without conversation, I don't know. These are all speculations. And what I'm saying goes back to what Blaq said. If we're not having these conversations, you can't expect me to know something that you ain't saying. I'm working and I'm just trying to also do what I can. So because that's all I can do. I'm gonna make whatever happen. If it's stressing you out, causing you to cry, causing the baby to cry, y'all are spending hours crying in the house and not knowing how to. I need to help this situation. So so I'm gonna either start the laughing song. That ain't working. Okay, well shoot, we gonna put it in the bottom.
So here's the
I came home 16 hours. Everybody crying.
exactly. But here's the thing: women are emotional, men are logical. We as men, what we try to do is resolve solutions. Make solutions for problems. And our also job is when things are in chaos, is to try to put out fires. Okay, that's what we do. It's in us. It ain't got nothing to do with your upbringing. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that. Hold on, let me finish.
Not a problem.
The reality of it is that nobody. I got 3 children, and I can say without a shadow of a doubt that both of my kids' moms went through postpartum depression for sure. Now that I am aware of what it is. But when I was 27 and I had my first child, when I was 29, I had my second child, when I was 34, 35, when I had my third child, I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what that looked like. All I knew is that shit, they was either not talking to me, pissed at me, angry at me, mad at me, don't want to see me, talk bad about me, whatever, in a moment. The reality of it is that we never sat down. What D is saying is true. We never sat down and had those conversations, but also what Blaq is saying is true. Because it's hard to have a conversation with an individual that is going through postpartum depression. You can't have that conversation in a moment. All you have to do is do what we can do, sis, is put out the fire. That's what we're trying to do, because I can't have a logical conversation with you right now. Not when you're going through postpartum depression.
Okay, but even if it's not postpartum depression, you start off, women are emotional and men
Absolutely.
are logical.
Absolutely.
It's gotta be a middle ground.
That's
Because
fine.
we don't think the same.
But I can't talk to you in that moment.
Maybe because you're logical. Right?
No, because you're still emotional
Hold up.
and you're going through a depressed situation.
You know that.
But I'm trying to support,
You know-
whether it's paying money, whether it's, hey, let me get the baby and put him on my chest and you get some sleep, or whether
I
it's,
ain't
what,
worried about the reaction. I got a question
okay, give me the
about
question.
the logic.
Okay.
If women are emotional and men are logical, and y'all are aware of that, all men know that for some reason. Y'all always say this shit.
Always the story.
It's the
Men are-
truth.
Women are
Then
emotional
we crazy.
and men are logical. How come you can't logically understand that she's emotional?
So I got you. So
I do.
vice versa.
I
No.
I do.
Black.
I do.
Vice
That on the
versa.
shirt.
Vice
Wait,
versa.
but
No,
before you
I
ask
got
the
you.
question, don't answer it.
I got you.
You're gonna answer
We do.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you, but also the same problem is happening on the other side. Because I'm so logical, you thinking I'm not emotional. about the same thing. We just handle it differently. I operate from a different senses. Your emotions make you want to act emotional, respond emotional, and need emotion to get through something. A man's emotion, it started with emotion. It hurt me to see you cry. It hurt me to see you not able to have success with this breastfeeding. I was emotional, but how I handled the situation was logically, not emotionally. So logically, I had to come up with something to try to help this emotional situation.
I got a question. Did you tell her that it emotionally affected you though?
Yeah.
So you
Crying
communicate.
with him.
So you come in, I'm sad as shit when this shit
This was the most
But now,
emotional
but then
time
he's
of
off
our
when you do
life.
that, though.
No.
Let's take it.
Nobody said that.
Hey,
Don't add that
hey,
in.
Stop
Let's
it.
take it a step
We
further.
just an add
She was-
No,
Let's
y'all
take it a
been
step
so used to
further.
them worldly women
Listen,
that don't want y'all to cry. Please cry. Let me
Cry
know you
with
got
you.
some emotion.
listen, play this thing. Listen, play this thing all the way out too. Listen. With this same woman, play it all the way out. With this same woman, we lost 2 sets of twins.
Right.
You know, this is a we finally able to have a kid. Hell yeah, I'm emotional about it. You know what I'm saying? You was on bed rest for 9 months. Unemployed. So that's 9 months of finances. See, so at the end of the day, I can't be so involved. Like,
Are you want to be homeless?
I can't be so emotionally invested that I'm not also seeing these other factors. In the midst of this emotional situation for 9 months of bed rest, I had to provide. What do you like, you know what I'm saying? I can't be emotional. No, it didn't work out today. Because of stuff that you
But I got,
you know
but
what
I
I'm
gotta
saying?
find ways to
You
be
see what I'm saying?
emotional and work 16 hours.
You know what I'm saying?
play all
And it
these-
didn't work out today. So I can't be so emotional.
I gotta find
Wait,
out.
but now now it's starting to sound like a pissing match.
Wait a minute,
Because the way LB is saying, yes, financially you supported for 9 months. And she needs to congratulate you for that because that's not easy.
But I don't want it.
Listen, hear me. But as a black man, y'all deserve congratulations. I'm
Sure.
sorry, whether you want it or not.
Thank you.
Because you put in 9 months of effort to make sure that she could carry your child for full term.
Sure.
But she was in the bed for 9 months
Right.
carrying your child and
Right.
struggling mentally, health-wise, and all that other stuff. So don't make it sound like a pissing match. Y'all both put
But
in
it's not a
effort.
pissing match. I just think it's not appreciated the same.
while she was in that position, she was under the impression that her provider and her protector was taking care of things. You understand?
Come on,
Well,
Kate.
listen,
And that's what the fuck
Come on,
they
Kate.
said.
I don't think it's being appreciated what happens when somebody's on
I
bed rest for
told you
9
I'm getting
months.
you some
That
cookies.
mean I lotion you. That mean I lotion
Cause
your
guess
body.
what?
That mean I feed you.
First off,
That mean I bathe you.
lotion
That
is
mean I
good.
take you to this part. I'm
Hey, what happens when
saying-
we start carrying a child?
I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying that should be appreciated. I'm there.
Right. I just want to point
You
something-
didn't do bed rest 9 months by yourself.
No, I just want to point something out too. Your first reaction to what I said was that you didn't want congratulations. Y'all have to get that out your head because I had to come back to you and tell you, no, you deserve congratulations. Some of it be y'all mental that be like, oh, well, she didn't appreciate it. And she might have sent you little signals. It might not have been big. Don't get me wrong. She might not have did everything she could have to show you that you was appreciated, but you went into the mindset automatically, oh, I wasn't appreciated for that 9 months.
Well, I only say that because I feel like we got to define what's emotional. Because the problem was that I wasn't being considerate enough, and which is why I laid out these different things. Emotionally, I'm as invested as you are. For that 9 months you was on bed rest.
You never answered Blaq question. A man is logical, a woman is emotional. Answer the question logically and emotionally.
I did answer. I'm tell you what. She asked me. She said women are emotional, men are logical. Why y'all can't logically see that we're emotional?
Exactly.
I said we do. It's just that y'all don't emotionally give us credit just because we're logical. You automatically say a man is just logical, not emotional.
So are you demonstrating it in a way that she can receive?
No, see, this is what I'm saying.
I know what you're
men are
saying.
really emotional. I run into
Men
a
are
lot
very
of
emotional.
men.
Oh my God.
This is
More
what I'm saying.
than I run into
The question,
the
the
ideal of an alpha man.
question that she asked me was because we're so logical, why we can't logically see that they're emotional, which means you want that to look like what?
You need to be able to answer that.
No. The question has been asked to me. So therefore, if I respond and say, okay, well, how does that look? What are you asking that to look like? That'll be my rebuttal.
I will tell you while I'm going through this, I would need you to know what that is. Can we sympathize what that is so we can get through it? Because I don't want it to be a problem against you and I, because I'm latching and I feel like you're gonna see me a certain way, or I can't be the good mother that I want to show you I can be, that you want to give your kids to. We done lost 2 girls. We done had this baby, and I'm having a hard time with her. I don't need you to see me away. And that conversation would be like, so what could we be doing? How
What are you
how
saying
are
I
we
need to
doing?
do?
But I
This
think
conversation is
Right.
what I'll be asking of you
But
to
man,
show me the
but in the
emotion. I don't
moment-
need you to cry for me and do
But in
all
the
that I'm doing.
moment, she can't have that conversation. Emotions she's going through, she can't have that conversation. We're not
Maybe.
having conversations. When I'm coming
Maybe. I don't
home,
know.
I'm coming home just trying to diffuse. We're not having conversations. But by the time you go into bed, I'm taking over so you can have some rest. I feel like you need to have some rest. Let me just do it the rest of the night. Whatever. But no conversation though is happening. This is just, I'm diffusing. She's tired, emotional. I'm trying to get this, boom, and then on to the next day. Nobody's having no conversation. So for you to say that I'm being logical and I need to be more understanding about the emotion, what more understanding am I supposed to give?
So was y'all solid before the baby? Because that's a big issue. Like, people just have babies and shit be crazy.
You know what I'm
but
saying? Did y'all
you
have
gotta
that
be
friendship where
solid.
y'all was communicating before the baby?
Because the baby gonna make
And
it crazy.
when
whether
you-
got
When you was
postpartum or not.
leaving to go to work, were you talking to your friend? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did y'all have that friendship, or it was just about building a family or healing from?
We didn't have an expressive relationship.
But that's the problem.
Sure.
Anytime you throw a baby in some shit, it's gonna be crazy.
Sure.
Whether y'all happy about it, sad about it, whatever.
Yeah.
It's
That fuse
exhausting.
gonna stay
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, so you gotta be solid.
But I'm just saying on the flip side, like my biggest problem was being labeled as someone that wasn't being emotionally supportive. That was my biggest thing. I feel like it was an insult, which is why I flipped the question to the woman. Why is it that my logical response to things made you feel like I wasn't emotional as you are about the situation?
I think y'all want us to do something that.
Why did that get labeled? Because I was handling things logically?
It was the perception of your emotions.
I
Perception.
know it, but the
So
thing
it wasn't
is,
fact.
But it's
Right.
unrealistic.
But that was the label I had to deal
Y'all
with.
trying to put an unrealistic expectation on something that a man's supposed to do when he's doing the best. He was doing the best he could,
Good.
and you wanted him to do.
Information he was given.
You wanted him to do more with something that he didn't even understand what it looked like. He didn't know what postpartum depression was. He didn't know none of that. He just flying off the deep end. Hey, look, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm gonna still go to work. I'm gonna still come give you a break. But because you cannot communicate, like, I know you don't understand this, but you cannot communicate with a woman when she's in that moment. You're not finna have a real grown-up conversation with this woman. And if you try, you'll be a fool.
I don't think you can have a conversation with somebody who can't receive honesty. I'm gonna tell you why. Because she was telling me, you don't understand what I'm going through. And my response was, I don't.
I don't.
I don't. What do you mean? Why can't I say that? I don't. So I'm handling it the best. I'm handling it as you handling it. Like, why are you putting no pressure on me? I don't know. Hell no. What is going on?
They don't understand.
I think they handle that.
Let me
Do you
speak
know
for crazy people.
I don't know what postpartum depression is. I'm just saying.
Wait,
When
hold
y'all-
on.
we don't
So
know.
you hear everybody, we gotta-
When y'all
we
lay
hear everybody.
down and have these kids, and then, do you go to the doctor visits with her?
Yeah.
Cause
I'm
they
involved.
speak about it
Listen,
though.
I'm fully
The
involved.
doctor, do they not speak about that postpartum?
Listen, you
After
go
they
to
have
class
them back,
every
no,
day.
I'm saying,
Not as much.
okay, but then you have to research yourself. Just don't do that.
You serious?
No, but all I'm
Yeah,
saying is,
I'm
Hold on,
serious.
man.
Is the woman researching that?
We gotta hear each
Is the
other.
woman researching that? Is the woman reading that?
Yes,
So
because
she
we
know it's
concerned.
coming, but she unfortunately she's not going to
Because
know what
we
it.
don't know if we're going to get it or
It don't
not.
matter, but you're reading up on it, right? So you know there's a
Exactly.
possibility.
So why are y'all not reading on it? So you just leave it to us?
No, what I'm saying is.
Why we got to let them know? It's your child too.
I'm not placing blame.
That's
I'm just
ridiculous.
saying,
I'm not
LB,
pointing the finger, but
I'm
it's
not pointing the
ridiculous.
finger. Hear me what I'm saying.
That's ridiculous.
I'm saying the reality hit us both. So why are you making it seem like I was
It's
supposed
just
to
your
do
fault.
more?
Right. That's stupid.
You told me out of your mouth in frustration. You don't understand what I'm going through. That was an insult when you said
Well,
that.
maybe it was her
Why is that
deliverance.
an insult?
Why is
Because
it
it
an
ain't what
insult?
you
Maybe it was
going
her
through.
deliverance.
It ain't just what you're going through. It's what we're going through.
No, I'm saying, I'm asking why you couldn't say that.
I did.
You said, no, I don't.
No,
she's going to say
that's
no.
what I said.
She's going to say
That's why
no.
I said the
You don't
conversation. It's
understand.
hard to have a conversation with somebody who can't receive honesty. You're telling me I don't understand what's going on. I don't. I don't. So
You have to look at a woman. Being pregnant 9 months, from the time you find out you're pregnant, this shit is not fun.
listen,
Okay? From the
it's
time you
not
find
fun for
out.
who?
But a woman, our body.
You think it was fun for me?
Okay, well, this ain't about you.
That's the problem. That right there. That's the problem. Blaq. If you never heard the problem, that's the problem, and that be the problem. And
Why
because
is it
it's
about him and my body going through
It's
shit?
about
us.
It's not us because it's my body.
that's the problem then,
You
right
don't
there.
have stretch
That's
marks.
the problem.
You don't have
That's the
your
problem.
titties
You
ain't
just heard the
valid.
problem.
It's not about y'all.
That's the problem. That's the problem right there.
There are two individual situations going on, but you are going through them together.
Together.
You are changing as a woman.
Have you ever thought about that? We go through postpartum depression
Well, I'm
too.
right there with you.
Have you ever thought about
This is hard
that?
on me,
Because
too.
I went through it too.
Okay, but then, okay, so
I'm not talking about
now that we're at the doctor's office with the child and stuff,
I've been there
with
every time. I
child,
didn't ever miss.
I
an
get
you
appointment.
been to
I
the
never missed an
appointments.
appointment.
but now we know because the doctor done said, hey, you might go through postpartum syndrome, whatever, all that. Why we not researching this? Why we just going with what the doctor say? Why we not researching?
So boom, that's not being done, but you now know what that is,
Mhm.
right?
I think
How old are your baby?
I got a 5-year-old and 8-month old.
And I know how old your babies are.
Girls.
So is the postpartum over?
That
How long
you have to
is it?
ask the
All
doctor.
speculation.
You have to ask the doctor. I
How
don't
long
know.
do postpartum last?
This is all speculation.
Postpartum depression does not last for a certain amount of time with every individual. It's going to be different, and it's going to be how they handle it and come out of it. It's just like any other type of depression.
Mhm.
And that's the part that a lot of people don't understand. It might start right after you have a baby, or it might not start until their baby's 6-7 months old.
Right.
It just depends on what's going on in that person's lives, hormonal levels and everything like that. So I can't tell you postpartum depression is gonna start at 2 weeks, and by 6 months you'll be over. It's not gonna work that way.
Mhm.
I'm also not gonna be able to tell you how you're going to manifest that depression either.
Okay.
It might be you cry, it might be you angry, it might be you throw things. It just depends on what's in that person, how it's going to manifest.
Right.
So if I tell you you might have postpartum depression and you might not, I don't know how it's gonna look. So when you research and they say, well, you might not get any sleep, you might cry, you might eat, that might not be what happens to you at all.
True.
So nobody's going to know. That's why you can't have that conversation in the moment, because
Right,
she's not
true.
going to be able to understand that
Right.
honesty. Because when she say you don't understand what I'm going through, and you say you don't, she don't know why you're not understanding what she's going through at that time. But you're looking at it, well, let me fix it. She don't want it fixed. She just wants you to understand
I
what
can't
she's going
understand.
through,
And I
you
can't.
cannot.
I can't.
But so
So
now
no,
we
me too.
understand that that is a thing. Postpartum is a thing that happens to people after pregnancy. Women can get it, men can get it. It can last for however long it takes to handle it. But if you don't
And
know,
to admit that it's there.
and remember, because you don't even know you have it to even deal with it. So you got it until it's dealt with.
I didn't
The
realize.
problem isn't co-parenting, it's depression.
It's
But
emotions.
everybody
Every
doesn't
aspect.
have postpartum depression.
No, probably so. But how would you
But you
know
can
who
still
have it?
But even after your baby, right, you still have hormonal changes as a woman,
Right.
I didn't have postpartum depression, but I was crazy for a couple of days. Hell, my estrogen
But how
came
can you
back
say
down.
that wasn't postpartum?
It's not.
And how can you say the men ain't
Could
gonna
you-
do
but
the same
could
thing?
you determine the difference?
Yes,
she
you
can
can.
tell.
You
Yeah.
can.
I'm
You
low-key
can
still
say
mad.
it's like a level or something that
I'm
can
low-key
determine
still
it.
mad.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
These women, I don't even know if they went to the doctor and it was classified as postpartum depression. You can just be adjusting to having a baby.
Yeah.
Like your body has to adjust to it. You can think I'm being crazy, but shit,
No,
my,
I
all
don't
my
think that's
hormones
being
gotta come
crazy. I think that's
Shit, on your inside.
that's the understanding. Both of y'all are doing the same thing. And I think that needs to be acknowledged. You going through changes, trying to figure out how to be the perfect man and daddy. You going through the changes, trying to adjust to being a mama. And y'all putting that against each other. Y'all are showing each other different faces right now. Y'all transitioning faces, but not having a conversation that we becoming different people. No,
Yes, it
I
is.
just told you.
No,
Let me
Unfortunately,
take it a step further.
I keep telling you
Black.
that. But it's all about, unfortunately, she just said
She
it.
just said it,
She
Black,
just
and that
said
bothers
it.
me. I'm gonna tell
She
you why it
just said
bothers
it.
me.
That's not
I'm gonna
fair.
tell you why it
All in
bothers me.
itself.
I'm gonna
That's
take it
not
all the
fair.
way through, Black. I'm gonna start from the jump.
I want to start. I want to start from
I'm
the
gonna
jump.
start from the jump.
I want to start from the
Listen,
jump.
immediately in the hospital, let me give you this testimony. Immediately in the hospital, I made love to this woman. Without any details, just know I made love to her to have this baby, okay? So we here in the hospital, whoever it is, just follow me.
That's my dog.
I made love to this girl,
That's my
having
dog.
this baby. You
That's
feel
my
me?
dog.
So at the end of the day, when I'm coming to this hospital, we coming to this hospital as a family. We're conceiving this child together that we created, doctor. Okay, so understand that. So when I enter this hospital, I want to be treated as a unit, and I'm not. So immediately when I get in the hospital, I'm the guest to my own child. I don't even have access to whatever the doctor is giving us correspondence about the child. The doctor only want to talk to the mother. Where's the mother in the room? This is what the doctor say. The doctor can come in and see the father and ask, where's the mother? I cannot disclose anything about y'all.
It is not happening to you. Whether you love her or not, it's not your body. You can be there mentally, but it's her body, her mind, all of that.
What I'm trying to tell you.
Melting over here.
I don't care.
I want to talk.
I got it.
You carry your baby, then we can talk.
What I'm trying to tell
I'm not
you
trying
is,
to hear that.
what I'm trying to
But
tell
you need me though after.
What I'm trying to tell
Remember
you.
that. Remember that. Remember that shit.
But listen up.
Bullshit.
But
That
what
don't
I'm
make it
trying
about
to
me.
tell
Don't make it about you. And then you want me after it's all said and done. Fuck that. Fuck that.
But you
And
missing
they got the same daddy.
Fuck that.
This is the only thing you missing.
Need one of them.
This is the only thing you
Okay,
missing.
I'm listening.
To be right doesn't mean what I'm saying is wrong.
Okay.
I hustled
So
9
the
months.
problem is, you want me to say, yes, you are the only person that's going through that. It's your body, you deliver it. You are, that's right. But what I'm saying is not wrong. Meaning, just because I didn't do that, you're saying my emotions are invalid.
I didn't say that.
You're saying
But you're
it
saying
in your
that.
window.
No.
This is what you're
You're
In
missing.
the
saying that,
moment,
sweetheart.
in
You're
the
saying that.
moment,
She's saying it.
in the
She's
moment.
saying my feelings because I'm the one that carried the baby or superior.
They are.
Okay, and that's wrong of you to do.
Why
What
is
I'm
that
saying
wrong?
is
Why
because
is
I
that
think
wrong?
it just be what it is. Like, let's say for example,
You don't
what
have
if
to
you go
get.
for initiating a sacrifice? Her sacrifice is about to be her body for
she's
9 months.
saying-
Wait, baby.
All right.
Her body's gonna be her sacrifice for 9 months, which gonna change completely. She can die. She finna
All
all
that.
this shit,
Yeah.
right? And your sacrifice is gonna be financial for the next 18
that's
years.
not my only sacrifice.
And not,
It might
no,
be
and her
emotional
body ain't gonna
too.
be the only sacrifice either. I'm just saying within this pregnancy. So in that hospital, when they addressing her, it's right now it's on her.
That's it. That's all
And
I'm
right now she
saying.
is the superior
gonna go
in the
to-
hospital. When you get home and you daddy, you taking
There we
everything.
go.
No, listen,
She not telling
I'm
you.
taking it a step
Why
further.
and she
Why they don't
bringing-
talk to us as a
I'm
unit?
telling you, they don't talk to us as a
But when
unit.
she get home, is she bringing
Listen.
up what happened at the
You're not
hospital?
Listen.
She's not. But
Listen.
you gotta
Just
bring
this
it
way
up.
in. Listen, the people even come in the hospital.
Why y'all
when you
don't
sign
talk to us
papers,
as a
take
unit?
shot. When you sign papers
Why
to have
y'all
a
talk to
baby,
us as a
the
unit?
people
Because
come
I
in the
wanna know.
hospital and ask you this.
I wanna know.
The people come in the hospital
Can you
and
answer
ask
that?
the mother,
It's
while
not
the father is present, do you want to put it on child support? Do you want to carry his name? Do you want? They only asking the mother this.
D, hold on.
It don't matter.
Let- let-
Why
hold on, let the doctor
What are you
answer.
talking about?
What are you talking
I
about?
don't want to sit by her.
I can't see my.
It's a doctor in the
How does
house.
that don't matter?
Can
Go
you?
ahead.
I'm gonna make a statement as a non-doctor, and then Cam can tell you the medical reason why. So
It
in
don't
my
matter.
mind, if you go into the hospital and the doctor walks in and address the woman first, either she or he needs to make it known at that moment, hey, when you come in and your nurses come in, you need to speak to both of us. That is you as a unit operating. If they come in as that, because she's gonna give you the medical standpoint on it. But if they come in and say, hi, where's the mother? And I'm looking at LV, she needs to say, hey, you speak to both
Right,
of
because
us.
somebody
It's
going
her
on. Like,
body.
she might not need to talk
It
to
is
both of
my
us.
body. I don't give a
Please,
damn.
but-
That's my
please,
husband.
I
That's
want
my
that-
But
body.
when I
Ask this
come in
question.
as a woman,
Why y'all
my
ask this
husband,
question?
hold on, hear me out. When I come in as a woman, my husband is my liaison. It needs to go through
It's
him.
sad.
No,
It can be
one
joint.
gotta go through him.
Because
can be
at that
joint.
point in time, I'm emotionally
Unable.
everywhere.
She's emotionally unable.
Your whole
Especially if she had an
your whole
epidural.
pregnancy, you not
Especially if
crazy.
she's on drugs.
Your whole pregnancy, you not crazy.
Oh
Why
my
did you get
God.
close to me?
About?
Oh my
Why did
God.
you move?
What did you
Because I can't believe how
do?
sad you
Why did you?
Because it's sad that you do
Can
this.
y'all please let
This
this
is-
woman talk?
Go
This
ahead.
is what's
I
sad.
know why,
Here.
but let her talk.
Go
Please,
ahead. Go
doctor.
ahead.
The reason that the woman is addressed individually when we enter into a room when you're about to have a baby, you are a patient. That child is not a patient until it's delivered. You cannot make decisions for her unless you have medical power of attorney. If she
I'm aware of
says
that.
in your presence, you can say whatever you want to in front of him. Now y'all are a unit. Prior to that, I'm only individually talking to my patient.
Well, she
It's
married
her
or not.
body.
True.
So
That's
it
true.
doesn't have anything to do with whether or not y'all married, y'all not married. This is a cousin, baby daddy, anything else. I can only talk to and only
The
get
mother.
information from
It's her
my
body.
patient.
Exactly.
That child is y'all kid, but it ain't here. So it's not my patient.
So this is all I'm saying to that. Emotionally, that affects you in an ill way right here. I'm gonna tell you why.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you why it affects you in an ill way. Unfortunately, medically, that was appropriate for the hospital. And you'll leave that hospital and she feel like I could give a damn about it being my husband
They took
or what
that
he
spirit
feels.
from the
I went
hospital
through that.
to
That
the house.
spirit,
No,
I'm telling you, that spirit that came all the way to our household.
Yes.
She feel like you don't have the same entitlement or the same
No.
emotion. I did this. I
Okay,
just told you how we had this, baby. I made love.
it's fair to
You
say
made
that.
I
love.
started there for
Hold
a
on.
reason.
So it's
You
fair
don't
to
even
say
get here without
that
us.
Before y'all got pregnant as a unit, you missed some red flags that was gonna say for her to come out the hospital and
There
say, you ain't got no,
I did.
and
Yep.
that, you
Yep.
missed some red
Yep.
flags.
Yep.
I didn't act
So
like
who-
that at home.
And that's
as a
hurtful.
baby. No,
And
no,
that's
no.
hurtful.
I didn't act like
I
that
can't
as a
believe
baby.
she don't see how hurtful that is.
How is that hurtful? I'm in the
That's what I'm
hospital
saying.
having the baby. When
Oh
we
my
get
God.
home, you can hold your baby. We can do all this. We can do all of this. What are you talking about? But I'm here. I'm having the baby.
I'm with you.
You're there. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you. But right now, this is my body. That shit is traumatic. What are you talking
To
about?
who? Just
To
you?
my
Don't show
body.
up that way, feel some
To
Just
my
you?
body.
If we know they still feel
Listen,
some
listen,
type of way.
To
listen.
my
This is what I'm saying,
body.
LV.
To my body.
This is what I'm saying.
But
The conversation in the relationship.
Are you saying you watching her
I am
go
in
through
this.
labor hurt you?
You are, but
Listen, have you seen the
Bye.
baby come out of the
bye,
vagina?
bye.
Have you seen this
Have
vagina
you felt
stretch
it?
and be
Have
able
you
to
felt
come?
Seeing
Listen.
it
I
and
wanna see you
feeling
go through that
it
thing.
are two different
Listen to
things.
what I'm saying. This is
Oh,
what
wow.
you're doing that's wrong that I'm not doing. Listen to what I'm doing.
Okay.
And we
Hold
want
on.
to get stretched.
Hold on, LV.
No.
LV, this
We
is the main
get
thing she's
stretched
doing.
at
She's
first.
like,
Wait,
Not
wait.
emotional.
I'm considering
I want to
both
wait
of
on.
our feelings.
Think about y'all.
Just hear me out. Just hear me out. It's the only thing you're doing wrong. I'm laying out both of our feelings. You're saying, well, you seeing it ain't got nothing to do with me feeling it, so mine is greater. Stop doing that. Let's share it together.
You sitting.
Because we made it together.
Let's share
No,
it
fuck
together.
out of here.
Why are you
Wait,
dividing so much? Like, why is it
Yeah,
like
that's
You're
what
having the
to be
baby
mutually
and you don't show up at all. Now how do you
it doesn't have to be
I
so
feel
mutually
bad.
exclusive. I don't know why you're doing that. It don't have to be that way.
It's
Or
not
you
a
never
hierarchy
went to
here
the
though.
point.
And I
It
think
doesn't
guys
have
are
to be mutually exclusive.
That's my only problem.
What you're going through is what you're going through in that moment. And he's not going to understand. But at the same time, because you are going through something, he is now going through something as well. They don't exist independently.
We're together. We're
Okay,
going through this
And
together.
not-
while
but
I'm
it's
in
not the
labor,
same.
it's not the same at
same,
all.
But they both.
But no one is
exist.
greater or lower.
But
either.
why are you
Yes,
comparing it?
No,
hold
it's
on.
not. Taylor.
Hold on, Dion.
I
You
can't
have
believe
not
you.
been cut open and had no baby come out your stomach.
I was there.
But
You
it
were
does
there,
not
it didn't
exclude
happen.
our
being
feelings.
there
It
doesn't
did
change.
not
That don't
happen to
negate
you.
shit.
That's
But
not
you
saying.
being there
That's
ain't
like-
nothing. Cause
Girl,
we're going through pain.
We going our
We
whole
cut
life.
open.
But why are you
All that.
comparing it? I'm not comparing
That's
it.
a good point.
LV,
If he
I think you're
wasn't,
too mad because y'all are like I'm saying that I
I
can
told
feel,
you I never
No.
get cookies.
Wait a
but you're
second,
acting
wait a
like I'm saying my feelings are equivalent to what you're
No,
doing.
It's not.
And I'm
All I
not
want you
saying
to do is
that.
recognize
That's what
that
you're
my
missing.
feelings
So
matter.
your
Okay,
response is defensive.
Yes.
Because you're saying, because me just saying I have feelings too is somehow making you feel like, well, you don't got the feelings that I went through. And I never said that.
You can
I
have
never,
feelings.
You
like, why
come
is
to
it so
this
defensive?
and you come to this end of the
But
table.
they
I
are
don't
not
give a fuck
wrong.
about feelings.
But why is it so defensive when
You can-
you're comparing it?
You
I never
can have
compared.
feelings. However, when I'm
I
on
just
the
said consider
table,
both.
when I'm on the
It's
table,
considered. I'm giving you
She's
cookies.
saying she don't give a
She
damn
don't.
about it.
Hold
don't
on.
talk to me
She's
about your
saying,
feelings
don't
when I'm
tell
on
me
the
nothing.
table. Because it ain't about you.
She said it ain't
I'm on the
about you.
table.
You see what I'm saying?
But it's
It's
all
on a
about
whole
you.
other level.
It ain't about me, but
It's
it's
not
all
about
about
me
you.
at all. But when we get home, I need
got
to
it.
help you. I need to give you a break.
Hey,
We're
moral
gonna
of the
be
story.
I
there.
don't understand.
Moral of the story is we got it.
I need
Because
to have your
and that-
back.
That means it ain't about me in this moment.
Whoa.
And it ain't about me while you're in the hospital. It ain't about us. It's just about you. Understood. Understood.
Keep that same energy.
But
No.
Oh
When
my
it's-
God.
No.
I'm not.
Why
Even,
y'all-
I'm not
why
saying
is it
that. I'm not saying
sensitive to
that.
y'all?
No,
It's not sensitive. We have feelings.
it's
Why
sensitive.
is it? Explain it to me because I really don't
Okay, so
understand.
let me explain. Can
Because
I
really don't
explain
get
it for a second? It's insensitive. It's insensitive only because we made it together.
I started that.
I'm hold on just for a second. Just hear me out too. I'm at every doctor's appointment. I'm there with you physically and emotionally. I'm vested. Okay? We get to the hospital, I'm there with you. I'm there every step of the way. I'm holding your hand through it. I'm in the delivery room. I'm there with you after you deliver the baby. I'm there. We in it together. We was in it together the whole time, from the time we conceived the baby to the time that baby was here. It was we. I get it. In that moment, in that absolute moment, my job, my only job, is to make sure that you're as comfortable as that you can be and feel safe in that moment. That's my only job.
Okay.
That's my only job. Hold on, hear me out. That's all I can do. I'm not a doctor. I can't stop the pain. I can't make the pain go away. I can't do any of that. I get it. For a moment, you are absolutely right. That, hey, he never said, he never took it away. All he said was, don't exclude. That's it. Hold on, Taylor. I'm not done. Taylor, for a second. Listen to me. Just, you gotta hear it. Hold on, Taylor. For a second, you have to stop and hear.
Okay.
Not just listen and hear. Don't exclude me from this possibly once in a lifetime experience. I'm not saying that my feelings are more than yours, and I'm not saying yours is more than mine. I just want to be a part of the moment with you. Hold on, but that's not what you said. You're saying it ain't, this is your exact words and I quote, it ain't about you, this is my body. And I understand what you're saying in the moment, but also that person is there for you the best way that they can be. If he wasn't there, like Jose said, if he wasn't there, you'd be pissed. You saying you wouldn't, but the reality of it is you would be. Because then guess what? Nobody was there for me when I was doing this. It was And in that moment, you have every opportunity to say But when that man is there, he's physically there, he holding it down the best way he can. You got to remember, this experience is new for the both of us, whether you got kids or not. Every labor and delivery experience is different. Don't tell me, I don't care how many kids you got. Every experience is different. All three of my kids were totally different. Every experience. So the reality of it is I come in with a different way and not knowing what to expect every time. You coming in the same way. We're going in together, and I want to leave out together. That's it. All he's saying is just don't exclude my feelings.
I'm not excluding your feelings.
But you did.
But what I'm saying
But you did. You might change it now, but you did.
No. When I'm pushing or getting cut, I had to see I'm getting cut. Okay. I can't think about you.
No, that's not the only thing.
But he wasn't asking.
He wasn't just talking about C-section.
Sweetheart, he wasn't asking you to think.
Don't do
that. No, but listen,
he wasn't asking.
I didn't just say C-section.
He wasn't asking you to think about him in that moment. All he was asking you to do is, once it's all said and done, because he was really talking about when the baby is already delivered. Doctor, that's what we were talking about. Once the baby is delivered and the doctors come in,
yes,
they really do. They only talk to y'all, but she answered that for us. She said they only talk to y'all because it's your body, which is right, but it's also because you're the patient. Your man isn't.
Understood.
But also, hold on, but also what DJ said was right. I'm trying to get y'all to see the tree. What she said was right, because the reality of it is that you can cut all of that short and say, hey, whatever you need to tell me, you can talk to us together as one. You have the power to do that. And there's nothing, you have that choice.
So I agree with that part. I'm talking about in the pushing, the having the baby.
He wasn't even talking about that.
Okay, what I said.
Okay, so that's what I thought he was talking about.
I took the doctor analysis while she was addressed that did bother me, that I had to swallow because she's the patient. I had to swallow that. But then we went home, and that mentality followed us home. And then you came home and you said,
that ain't
you don't
on
understand
everyone.
what I went through. I didn't push. So now it's hurtful because it's like, okay, now we're at home though. And you're carrying this division that the doctor had to do because you was the patient, but you bring it at home. So that's going to affect what we have at home.
Right.
Because you're making it seem as though because you did deliver, we know that. We're not taking that away from you. You had the baby. We understand. But you coming home with that, well, I had the baby, and everything that I feel is now above.
No, I wasn't talking about at home.
Where I am.
So can I go a step further?
Yeah.
And this is more so from the spiritual standpoint of it. You all women have the hardest job. That 9 months is the hardest job. But we also have to remember that just as well as the man can't be a man without a woman, that man is inserting that love into you to create that, in a sense, for analogy purposes, he's the one that's making that diamond come, which is our baby. I don't think, and I think sometimes, honestly and truthfully, when you're in that delivery room, that turns into hatred towards the man. Hold on, just not you, but in that moment, it can turn to hatred because now you're thinking, you put me through this. Because technically, he did. Because his semen, if you want to go science, his semen is what's making that child. You're developing the child in the womb.
Okay, the
but
eggs too.
Okay.
Those
Yes, they go together. So
okay.
but the reality of it is, without his semen, that egg
Without
is impossible.
Either one you can't have.
True. The reality of it is, but that goes into, that can go a whole way. I've had experiences from not my own personal, but I know people that say, hey, when I went on this labor and delivery table, I hated him because he took me through this. But the reality of it is where we agreed on this, unless you was, and that's a whole nother topic. Unless it was something else, we agreed on this. That means you knew you didn't know what to expect, but you knew that this was going to be a process going in. We ain't talking to no dummies at this table. So you ain't the only one, I ain't the only one that signed up for this. You signed up for this. And we don't know health issues. Right. God forbid, we don't know that. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if they say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Your cervix won't hold this baby. Why? What happened to me? So I end up having a son 24 and a half weeks. Like, no, I don't know that going in. You don't know that going in. This is something that we got to deal with. Okay. There we go. So the reality of it is that in itself, the fucked up part about it, the fucked up part about this is in the Black community, and I'm going there. Pregnancies tear us apart. In a white community, in a Hispanic community, and every other community, that brings them together. We backwards, y'all.
It's just that.
We backwards.
That's why I gave you that story.
We completely backwards.
Black air tank. I was so involved in this. You know what I'm saying? It was emotional. Whether however you didn't receive that from me as a man, I'm sorry. But emotionally, it hurt me immediately when the emotional aspect of however you viewed this became only about you. And you don't even have to say it. Immediately, for something that we were both invested in emotionally, whenever that division happened, emotionally, I felt it. And I think at that point, that's where the problem happens as far as the conversation goes, because now you're expecting me to be more understanding for what you have had to go through as if I didn't go through it.
Which I think that's impossible.
So my response is like, I don't know, because I'm figuring it out with you too.
And that's impossible.
So why is that wrong?
If you want him to be more,
I'm right here with you.
What is he possibly? What can he possibly do more? It's impossible for him to do more. Impossible.
That's all I'm saying. I'm with you.
It don't even matter.
So it's perfect.
LV, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Hey, just stop running out here slang
You are in it with
Stop
her,
running
but she wants you to sympathize with what she had to go through to give you the baby. Like, for example, let's take the life out of it. If I shoot you in the knee, and I am remorseful that I shot you in the knee, you understand that I'm sorry, right? Because I love you for real. I'm sorry. But is that going to change your experience with this knee? You can't work for a few weeks.
This is my response. This is my response to it. Okay. In the sense that you're using it as an analogy, the father is the therapist. So the therapist, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what. Just emotionally.
No, you're not the therapist though.
No,
the gun is me, and it's somebody that shot you in the knee.
I can't make it be the same, and I think that's the problem. The woman is wanting me to feel like it's the same, and I can't, and that's not accepted. What I'm saying is, I can't relate the same
See,
way.
I heard that different here. I hear that the man wants you to see it the same.
Well, no,
The woman wants you to see that, yeah, you here and you here for your child and you here in support and you here to.
I'm here for you too.
You here for me?
I helped
Something
that
go
me get
wrong?
back together. I
You here-
worked it.
you
I
here-
was
yeah.
there. You know what I'm saying? I was
But
part
you're
of
not
it.
finna
I'm not trying to
dislocate
say
your
it.
fucking hips
I'm
to
not
do
trying
this.
to say it's the same.
You not finna.
Y'all
you have
trying to
be
make it
sit-
stay
I
the
know.
same.
I'm saying she's not trying to make it the same. She's telling you
It's not the
y'all
same.
had two different experiences.
It will never
At
be
this
the
one
same.
hospital that y'all in the same room, y'all came in together, y'all being treated this way, but y'all had two completely different experiences. Your experience started when they separated you mentally, they separated you, but hers happened when they started hooking her up the shit.
Okay.
And different IVs started going in her,
Yeah.
and she got to get that damn epidural.
Sticking
All
they-
that shit started happening to her.
Sticking
Her
they
reality
elbows.
changed too,
Yeah.
and you're not in that. She can't even share that with you. It's just something she have to do.
Yeah, that's
Because
something
we
that you
here.
can't share.
We came in here to do something, so it's things I have to do in here. And
But-
you telling her, I'm here and I'm doing it with you. Did you get shot in the back?
Yes, but this is what I'm saying.
Did you
I can
push
show
that
you.
8
This
pounds
is what I'm
out?
saying. This is what I'm trying
You
to show
may
you.
have seen
Check
it and
this
it may
out.
have traumatized the fuck out of you to see that thing come out.
It
But did you
depends on
feel that thing come out?
It depends on your level of involvement. So
Perhaps. You could have been the one to catch it.
No, listen.
But you still
no.
not gonna feel what she felt when their head popped out.
What I'm saying is, everything that I'm saying, the response that you're getting is trying to make me understand that I will never feel it the same way. And that's the error that you're making. I have never once said, I'm trying to get you to see that I've experienced the same thing that you experienced. That's never been my argument.
You're talking about
The problem is, all I'm saying is emotionally, it wasn't appreciated the same. I'm not trying to make it seem like you didn't do nothing greater. You obviously did.
It's
But when
not
you
appreciated
but-
the same because you're not even giving her grace. You just pushed the life out your
I'm
body.
giving-
You
no,
want me to
listen.
sympathize that I had an
The
emotional
problem-
experience in here?
Listen,
I
the
don't.
problem is not what I'm not giving her. The problem is everything that you're asking for. Why don't you feel like you also should have to give it to him?
I can't get it to you right now.
That's
I
all
just
I'm
had a
saying.
baby.
So
Why
this
would
is
you
what
even want
I
her
just
to?
No,
had a
but
baby.
I'm just theoretically asking. All I'm saying is that's how I know
Nada.
the ask is different than what's being asked. Because what you're asking is, hey, there should be some understanding here that when I was pushing, you don't know what I have to go through. Well, no, I couldn't physically know what you have to go through, but that's why I bought my swim trunks and I got in the pool with you and I held you. And when you pushed, I pushed, we held. When you got shot, you got that epidural, and he shot you in the back. We cried on each other. I held you on that bed. You leaned on me. I held you. Each time he pushed in, you bled out. I bled.
So
I'm a
y'all
part of
doing it
this.
together. So what you,
You know
want
what I'm
her
saying?
to
Like-
acknowledge about you there?
I'm
What do you need her to acknowledge about you there?
I don't need her to do anything more than what she's asking. I want the same thing. And what I'm saying is, because we went through two different experiences, you're automatically saying, because my experience, I understand you went through an experience, but because my experience was greater, I want you to silence your experience and be there for me. So then it makes the guy feel like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if I do this wrong, then I'm faulty because I'm going through it too. This is a new experience for me too.
I think it's different. I think that like for women, like Dion was saying with the family aspect, for the Black family, like when you have a baby, your mama is your go-to. Your mama is gonna be there, right? She understands.
That's
For
bullshit.
y'all,
Shouldn't be
but
that
hold
way,
on,
though.
it shouldn't. But listen, for the man, y'all need a man to talk to because I can't talk to you about your emotions at the time. I just had a baby. I gotta understand how to take care of this baby myself.
But I also
and
gotta
you.
be there for you.
Right, but
At
as
the
a
same
woman,
time,
after you have a
you're cutting
baby,
me off on somebody else, but then you want me to be there for you.
Rationalize
but
your
after
emotions.
you have a baby, you gotta understand. You gotta learn to
You
love
need someone
yourself
to
again.
talk to. Like
Yeah,
if she has that
it's
woman
not
to go
the
to
same.
to help her.
You keep
This is a
comparing.
natural part
But
of
I can't even
Nobody's
do that to you right
comparing.
now.
becoming a
I
mother.
can't think
Your
about
breasts
you
aren't
right
gonna
now.
feel like that. You may
It's-
do bleed for a
it's
while.
hurtful.
She has somebody that's gonna guide her and tell her those things. And what she's saying is a man need those things too.
'Cause I can't help you right now. I gotta help me.
What
and this
happened?
baby. I gotta.
What happened? Let me ask you a question.
I'm not asking.
What happened? I
Help
got you,
me.
D. What happened if in your mindset, in the process of you seeking this healing that you feel like I can deliver you, what if you thought that I could also lean on this person and stop making this person feel like that they'll never understand?
I
Well,
got a friend of mine.
Which is why he said they
Yeah.
get closer, we get apart.
Right.
Because we didn't have the baby.
We can be together, but I mean, like I can lean on you, but still in this space after just having a baby, you can't understand what I'm going through, and I don't expect you to. I'm a woman. I just had a baby. You a man. You could never understand what I feel, but I do want you to be there.
And how
But
can I
I
do
don't.
it?
You just be there.
Is
However
it a
that
new
woman
experience for
needs
you?
Oh,
If
shit.
it is a new experience,
No, I'm
Even
saying-
if it is a new
No.
experience for you
Yeah.
both, you
It's a
gotta
new
be
experience
there.
for you, right?
it is.
So is it not for me?
What am I supposed to do for you at this moment?
What am I supposed to do for you in this moment?
Help me.
Help me?
I can't help you.
See what I'm
because I got the
saying?
baby.
It's so simple.
You can't
You see what I'm saying? I'm not
What am I supposed to
understanding.
do?
What you want her to help
What am I supposed to do for you?
What would you want her to help you do?
What would you want me to do for you?
To
Number
be the
one,
father
why?
to the baby.
Okay, well, I want you to be the mother to the baby.
Okay, no.
Okay, what's
So
the
let's take it there.
I want you to do whatever you asked me to do. I want you to do it vice versa.
Let's take it there. So when the blood everywhere, I want you to help me, right? Okay. When the cramps and all that shit start, the milk everywhere, help me. I can't help you. Not having none of that. I can't help you with that.
Okay.
So
Well,
you help me. Help
well,
me with
when
the
you-
baby.
Perhaps
when
he's
you
saying
get
you
fed
can
up-
help me understand what you need. If you asking me to be there and you saying, hey babe, this shit is that what you need to take him for a little bit.
So basically,
Is that what? Is that
So
it?
let me get-
Is that
so
the help? But
for,
what is
for,
that's
for,
not the
can I
help
ask y'all a
either?
I
question?
don't think it's
Women,
understood.
women,
what
can
I'm
I ask
saying.
y'all a quick question? So this is what I want to understand. So I'm not being funny. For 9 months, you know what? Screw that. Let's just say for 2 years, 9 months of you carrying the baby, and really honestly, about 12, 14 months after the baby is even here, you would like for us, me, to put all of our emotions in a closet. Listen to me, hear me out, and say, I just need you here for me. Is that safe to say? I'm not trying to be funny at this moment. I'm really just being,
Just answer.
just yes or no. Just yes or no.
No. The answer is no. Because what I did with my baby's father, I let him do him. His thing was to go out in the streets. All right. You need your time to go somewhere, go somewhere. Because as a woman, you stay home, you hold the baby. The man get to go drink with his friends, blah, blah. Whatever release, hold on, wait. Whatever release
That's her
he
dynamic.
needed,
That was
whatever
That's her
release,
experience.
whatever release he needed to try to cope from being a daddy, all right, you go do that.
No, stop.
What from this
Because-
new,
stop,
from
stop,
this
stop.
new?
But that's her perspective.
I get
That's
that,
her
I get
perspective.
that,
You gotta remember
I
that's
get it,
her
but I'm saying from
experience.
cope, so you were okay with him coping from, I just want to ask the question.
That's
You were okay in that moment that you had just laid down, did all this stuff that you saying, hey, nigga, I can't help you right now. This is what you told him.
That's right.
Go out there and go cope with your feelings and go run the streets. You were okay with that.
Okay, I was 18. We was 18 when we had our baby.
Say
That's
less.
the problem.
Say less.
Okay, so we didn't know shit about what to do.
Okay.
He out there, I'm here with my mama. We trying to figure this shit out. You come home every night, we stuck here. Fuck,
Okay.
I don't know what to do, right? So that's where I was. But I mean,
Understood.
if I get to do it again, you know, of course, I want my husband to be there, and I don't want him to run to the streets. But we had to have a conversation because honestly, like, how I'm supposed to help you? I don't know how to help you.
And you said no. You said no. Pam, what do you say?
She an expert?
I asked a question. I want every woman's answer. There's the reason why I'm asking.
No.
What's your answer? LV, what is your answer?
I don't remember the question.
Do you want him to sit in the closet?
Do you want him to, for basically 2 years?
You want me to go off my experience?
No, I don't want you. I want you to answer the question at 42 years old. That's what I want you to ask.
No, don't just put it all out there.
Okay. So here's my thing. It's safe to say that all of you all said no. The women said no. Blaq? Okay. I'm sorry. So the women said no. That was a perfect time for some talk. But I was thinking about this, and what I thought about is that you all said no. And Jose said something in my ear a second ago that he said his exact words is like, it's like we're going around in circles. And he's absolutely right. D is saying that, Taylor, I hear you. Just don't neglect my feelings. That's all he's saying. Taylor is saying, nigga, in so many ways, I can't think about your feelings at this moment. I just had a baby. Understood. So if you two, just using this for an example, and we're not saying that in a relationship or anything, y'all, but if that experience happened with you two, when y'all got home, your dynamics would be messed up. It's safe to say that. Right now at this table, it's 100% safe to say that your home dynamics would be shot to shit. It's safe to also say that we get pregnant, and I'm talking about the Black community now. When we get pregnant, we have a baby, and through conceiving this baby, 9 months of carrying this baby, having this baby, we never sit and get a plan.
Mhm.
We never sit and get a plan together to say, hey,
They talk to their mamas.
what are we, facts. But anyway, but what are we going to do? What are we going to do? How are we going to do this?
That's the problem.
What does this look like? Look, I'm confused. But all we do is we've been passing this down from generation to generation to our kids, thinking that it's okay. And I'm here to tell everybody, whoever watch it later, this is not okay what we're talking about. No, it is not okay, Taylor, for you to say, screw that man's feelings, I just had a baby. D, no, it is not okay for you to say, hey, shoot, I got some emotional needs too. Shoot, like, I want you to be a mother.
Strong in there,
Yeah, shoot. But I am saying that we can't neglect each other's feelings. Because men have postpartum depression and women have it too. I know I had it. I know I did. Now that I look back, but in that moment, what the doctor just said, I had no earthly idea. I thought I was doing the best I can. I was physically there. You know what was told to me? I was physically there, but I wasn't there. How?
That's a conversation.
I know it, but the thing is, you can't have that conversation after. So then this conversation is gonna hold over our household, over our head. We gotta put those feelings to the side, try to take care of this baby. And then hopefully in a year or two, or never, we gotta have a conversation that happened 2 years ago or a year ago. No. So we gotta find out the plan. We have to make that before this baby is conceived. We have to have a plan. We have to have a plan. We have to stick to that plan, no matter what happens in the midst. We have to stick to this plan because this plan is the foundational set for our child, not the foundational set for our relationship. Listen to me.
Right on.
The foundational set for our child. So again, goes back to what we're going through. These two men that have children on this panel, we're dealing with stuff that we should have had a plan for years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We should have had a plan. Unfortunately, we didn't. And this is why we're going through what we're going through. From this day forward, though, I guarantee you, I ain't got to worry about thinking about this on the way home. I'll have a plan. I'll have a plan.
What if it was a plan?
Here's the thing.
Then the baby came.
What if it was a plan and the baby came?
And then something happened.
Something, that means that person or those people, emotions got the best of them. And it is what it is. But also in that moment, I can't sit back and say, you know what, damn, we let our emotions get the best of us. We're not following the plan. We're going to have to figure out a way to talk about this. We're going to have to. Because in that moment, we can't afford to drop the ball. Our kids' life is dependent on it, not just from a physical standpoint, but from a life longevity standpoint. We can't afford to drop the ball as parents. Damn this relationship right now. So if you really want me to be honest, for 2 years, I'm just your partner.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't in no relationship. Fuck that. Because that fucks shit up. I'm just your partner. I'm your partner in crime. You mine, I'm yours. And we gonna find a way to make sure that this baby has the best startup that it can have. And then we'll jump back on this relationship stuff when he settles or she settles down and it's a little bit more self-sufficient. But I need to pause this over here. So if you're gonna pause some emotions, pause them motherfucking emotions about relationship while this baby gets here. And then we'll pick that up back up in a minute. It's not saying that we're not together. It's saying we just need to hold on for a second. Because this is fucking this up. Because that's why we really in our emotions. We too worried about the relationship and ain't nobody thinking about the kid.
If y'all can have a conversation about holding off the relationship or the emotions for the sake of the kids, why y'all can't have a conversation on how those two can coexist?
You absolutely right. But unfortunately, he just told you a minute ago that, dang, we had a plan.
Yeah.
And then something
also,
changed.
I really enjoyed the postpartum conversation. Now that y'all know that was a big factor within y'all's relationships and which holds a big factor in how y'all can co-parent easier, would y'all be willing to have those conversations with y'all partner?
Absolutely.
Because I feel like y'all missed that trauma.
But I think also if that woman, here's the flip part about that.
Conversation.
Hold on. True. But here's the weird part. She said something that was hella, sometimes you drop nuggets and don't even drop them. And don't even know you drop them. She said, LV said, I never missed a doctor's appointment, which is true. You said you've never missed a doctor's appointment, which is true. I know these things to be true. So that means we both was at the doctor and postpartum was brought up. Want to know where that folder is at? Because you get a folder.
Yeah.
Am I lying, doctor?
Yeah.
You get a folder. Let's keep it G for a second. You know where that folder is at? It's put up. She might have looked at it one time and you looked at it no times. So guess what? We both dropped the ball. Mm-hmm. Let's stop blaming each other. We both dropped the ball. You didn't, you know what you thought? It ain't gonna happen to me.
But see, that wouldn't happen with anything else.
You're absolutely right.
You're absolutely right. If you came home with cancer, we both gonna look into every cancer story on the fucking map. And although that's your experience, you're gonna still understand we in this together by the effort we put in together.
Absolutely
so how did it change with the fucking kid?
That's the
You're
problem.
Absolutely right.
That's the problem that I feel like that I appreciate D saying is in our culture, for whatever reason, emotionally, it divides us. And that was an opportunity for us to come together.
A baby tears us apart. Like it's crazy.
When you was going through what you was going through versus you realizing I'm going through this, but this is also something that I created with this man. I need to share this experience with him. I don't. I shut out him in the household. But I'm having a full emotional conversation with my mom about what emotionally I'm going through.
Because
I want him to understand my emotions that I never told him. But I'm telling my full emotions about what I'm going through to my mom, but he's supposed to understand.
See, when she was communicating with her mom, what she was showing you. She was trying to make you see it through action. She was showing you her attitude, but telling her mama why she was acting that way.
Which is important because in relationships, we give each other the reactions of how we feel. And we tell somebody else how we feel.
No, yeah, because when you can't talk to somebody, you
it's not that you can't, you didn't
initiating an emotion. I want to share an emotion with you, so I'm gonna initiate that emotion so you to pick up. And I feel like that came from a secret of time for women, but I do know we do that shit.
It's almost like having a baby. It's almost like having a it's like having a baby as a sorority or you know what I'm saying, or something. It's like, you know, X him out and not X him out, but push him away.
Taking from it, okay, maybe I was wrong for a little bit. I ain't gonna say it too much, just a little bit. But so maybe the man and the woman should both be each other's safe place.
Absolutely.
So don't hug me. Don't start this shit. Don't come out here.
This is where it's
hold on.
We could have been so close.
Listen, it takes time.
We could have did this together.
But no, okay, so I'm saying that now. But still, like,
we could have made it.
She could have been totally different.
But okay, so we know that now. But we went through all of that to figure that out.
Man, but by that time,
and that was just one conversation. Imagine if you would have had this in what was it, 23, 27?
But you gotta be. I was 18, girl. We had that conversation.
I know, but
I'm looking at the baby like,
but you was having conversations, right?
Nah, not that.
You was talking about things. You was talking. You can talk.
I didn't talk about nothing.
You should. Y'all talk because y'all laid down, so y'all talk.
You talk.
No, we was good. I didn't talk to nobody about. I mean, I just took care of my baby.
No, I'm just saying, like, you said your
I
mom
didn't have
was there
postpartum
helping you.
depression, but
No, I'm just saying she was there helping you.
Yeah, I mean, he did what he.
No, your mom.
My mama was there, yeah, but I didn't talk to my mom either.
Oh, okay. I'm just usually.
I mean, I just kind of like talk to myself. Like I talk to myself and God. That's how I got through mine. But
the reason why I say I think it's culturally, which is why I'm glad you said it that way, because culturally, you know, I had my baby during COVID, right? So anybody who know about anything in the hospital with COVID, you know, you allow one visitor. And this culturally becomes a problem, or became a problem.
Mama get mad if she ain't.
It became a problem that I felt in my mind. So on one side, my girlfriend was saying that I was being disrespectful by telling her mom she absolutely wouldn't be the one to go there. And on my side, I was saying, well, I feel your mama is disrespectful for thinking I wouldn't want to be there for my kid having the baby. And it became a problem, right? And unfortunately, in this generation of time, the woman, just like she said earlier, could have alleviated everything that the doctor thought. Hey, you need to dress us as one. She could have nipped that in the bud with her mom. Hey, listen, just as much as I gotta be there, he gotta be there. We're having a kid together. You need to chill, mom. He's gonna be there. Yeah. Like, chill out. And she would have fell in line. She loves me as an extension of you being with me. So you have to be the one to control that narrative.
Who did she pick? You or mom?
It had no choice to do with pick. It's pick is already picked.
Shit, yeah, I lay down.
That's what she was trying to be on. It wasn't no choice to be made. Like, she could have just been mad. You know, there wasn't no choice to be made. But that's the problem.
That happened with me too. It was between him and my mom. And my mom came, but
See?
I was 18. And
So you hold on, but I'm just letting just in the future. Even at 18, you messed up anything y'all could have possibly had by choosing your mom.
I didn't choose. I was passed out. I had an emergency.
But here's the reality.
My mama stepped up
I get
and
it.
did that.
I get it. But here's the reality. Even
She
at
probably
18,
did it in an
That's her
authoritative way.
baby.
And she probably did it in an authoritative way.
This
It's
is
my
her
daughter.
baby.
Yeah.
Instead of, no, that's your
You can't
daughter.
do that.
I mean, that's your
That's your
child.
child.
Wait,
Yeah.
the doctor
And she
wanted
did it in an
to
authoritative way. He probably couldn't say nothing, and she was there.
But hold on, I already know what she's gonna say. Because it's power of attorney.
Because it's danger.
She was
In danger.
emergency.
I agree with you. That did change.
And her mother has power of attorney over her.
Had it been just, we gonna take you back, we schedule this on this day, it would have been a whole different conversation. The emergency portion.
Changed it.
Changed that whole.
I understand that. I
somebody
changed.
might have to sign something.
Yeah.
I was in that position where D was at, like where one of my
Who
kids. I went all three. But yeah, it was a pull for a minute. Like I want to be there type thing. And this was before COVID. So, but it was still like in a delivery room. Everybody can be in there anyway. It's one person. It don't matter whether it's COVID or not. In a delivery room, there's one person. Now you can be in her room, or you know what I'm saying, but you cannot be one person to the delivery room. Who's making that choice? No. It's nothing to talk about.
Well, yeah, that's
But
what
also,
I'm doing.
real men, it is what it is. Real men ain't gonna make it a debate.
choice.
It's not even.
It ain't even nothing to debate
It's
about.
bad for no
You feel what I'm
reason.
saying? Like, so you be mad,
You just be
you
mad.
can hate me, you can whatever. But unless it's some type of science where you actually conceive that baby, then we ain't got nothing to talk about, baby. And for you to even, I think it's disrespectful beyond the fact to want to step in when the man is there.
What if the man don't want to be? I got a friend
I don't
who
give
the
a-
daddy ain't never
Look,
wanted to be.
say,
His mama
sir,
there.
sir, just know if she want to put you on child support, if she want to dog you out and talk bad about you, just know that you just gave her a reason to. Know that.
I just feel like it's a problem. You know, I'll even challenge it. Some steps of the medical process, I still feel like is disrespectful. Because like I said, the doctor aspect of it, I think you cover it as far as the doctor is saying, this is my patient. I want to address my patient. That covers that part. But then there's a social work part of it that comes in as far as your Social Security and your birth certificate.
Mhm.
The lady sees the father. You're in the room. You're there. She asks the woman, "Do you want the baby to have his name, or you want the baby to have somebody? Do you want to put him on child support?" So I'm here, lady, you know what I'm saying, like.
Now, child support part that shouldn't be working.
But it's crazy.
Hold up.
They asked you about child support in the hospital?
While I'm present.
No, sir, that's illegal.
That's
No, sir. I want to talk to my patient about the names and information that she's supposed to fill out this form and put on this child's birth certificate. If you're a president and you want to sign, you can.
Oh, I got a better one for you. My
But outside
son,
of that,
my
all
son's
that other
last
stuff-
name, the whole time he was in the hospital was his mom's last name.
Yeah, I had to talk to a supervisor of the hospital.
No.
Everything. It was a whole thing. It was a whole.
After I signed the birth certificate, and everything,
It was a problem. It was a whole
Your
thing.
child's last name is the patient's last name until that patient is discharged.
Facts.
Then after that.
You have to sign.
That's something I don't agree with.
And that's something I don't agree with.
I don't agree with. Once I sign that birth
I
certificate, then
understand
it's
you disagree with it, but that's just how it is.
But
That's
don't
what I'm
matter.
saying.
But
But you brought it in the hospital to sign it.
No, that's why I said it needs to be challenged. It's
Yeah.
something that needs to be challenged. It's something that I just brought it up. That's what I'm saying.
So that goes to back in the day, you was married before you had a baby, so it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
So that's
There
the
you go.
issue.
That is
So
the
we
issue.
coming to 2022, people just have babies, which
Right.
we
No, I
one of
totally
them
agree.
people, but
I totally
you
agree.
know,
with
like
And also,
that's
it's
the
a lot of encounters like what he said. What if he's not there at the hospital? They used to a lot of shit,
But here's
seeing
the
a lot of
thing,
shit.
like,
If
I'm
you
there.
the husband, you might be the brother.
No, and that's the thing. That's the whole thing, though.
No,
But
that's
you're
why I
already
feel like the
establishing all
conversation
that.
needs to establish all that. I just feel like it's protocol.
Yeah.
There's no sensitivity about trying to figure out who I am.
No.
I came in this room and totally in a protocol. I got 3 questions to ask you. I got paperwork you need to sign, and then I'm out the room. There's no sensitivity,
So why
and that's
don't
what
we-
I'm saying.
So why don't we get married before we have babies, moving forward?
He's talking about when he was married.
Okay. He's talking about when he was married?
Yeah, and I'm talking about when I was
Oh,
married.
no, no, no,
Yeah,
it
this
shouldn't have
is
to be.
marriage, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
The thing is no, not
So
with
y'all
the,
want the.
no, with the-
right?
Well, I'm
last name on the-
well, I'm combining both situations. My first child I had,
yeah,
I
I'm
was
combining
married.
both too.
And now I'm combining the second
The
situation
card that go on
with the
the
woman.
bassinet,
Yeah.
you want them to write just your last name? On
I'm
the
saying
thing? I think
whenever
for
the-
medical
I'm
purposes,
saying-
They write the patient's last name so they know who baby.
I think that's what it's really for, but we're saying.
That's not my issue.
But you want the baby name where? I mean, what you want to write it on? Cause you signed the birth certificate, right? What
It's
you want to write it
not,
on?
it's not my issue. I didn't bring up where I want the baby name to be written. That ain't my issue.
We were saying on all paperwork.
I'm just
It's gonna
saying.
be on our paperwork,
Yeah.
ain't it?
No, I'm talking about as far
It
as
should
the
be.
dress, period. I feel like there should be a separate sensitivity training
Like,
to what the protocol is.
right, because
when
we're
you
going,
address
because
the
even
patient.
after she's released,
They come
I'm telling
in
you, I had
totally
this
on
issue.
protocol.
I had this issue.
That's it.
Even.
They
so-
do this all day long.
You
And
said
then
it's
it shows.
protocol.
And it shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, okay, so it's protocol, understood.
And that's unfortunate. That's what I'm
Understood,
saying.
but
Emotion.
with
It's
my baby
unfortunate
son, that carried out for even when we were discharged. So even when we start going to his first doctor's appointments and all of that, we had to correct all of that. We had to go back and correct all of that. They were still calling him by his mom's last
Okay, but did they stand firm on that? Did she
It
help
took a
you
minute.
stand firm on
name.
that?
It took a minute.
No, I'm saying, did she help you?
It took
stand
a minute.
firm on it? It took a minute for her to get that?
Yeah.
It took a minute.
It took a minute for
Because-
us to get
So
there.
she was like, oh, no, I want him to have my last name.
Well, originally, I wasn't present. That's a whole nother topic for another day. Originally, I wasn't present, not by choice.
I think that's an American issue though. Like in India, that's not an option. They're gonna dress the man when they walk in, the woman don't even say.
Well, hold on,
Right, another
pause,
country, that's
because
American.
I just had this conversation yesterday. When you go to a restaurant, no matter if it's a man or a woman, waiter or waitress, when that ticket come out, and it's a man or a woman, or it's 3 women and 1 man, or it's 2 women and 1 man, guess who they gonna slide that goddamn ticket to?
Him.
Fuck wrong with you? So moral of the story is that we're culturally, not necessarily culture like Blaq, I'm talking about us, people, American culture, we pick and choose when we want the man to be the head. And that's fucked up.
I want to correct that. Now we pick and choose. Because back then it wasn't a pick and choose. It was just the man was.
I ain't
this
never
and that.
went to a restaurant with women. And they ain't never had the ticket in front of me, ever. Unless she physically took the ticket before it came to the table. That motherfucker was always in front of Dion. Just like that.
Okay,
We fight about
but
it.
you gotta think about it too, like, the reason that women have that stance in America now is because men fucked it up so much. Because men used to beat women, right? Women were locked in
Still
this.
be women.
Well, they still do, but I'm saying, like, back in the day, you know, it was legal to beat your heart. That's what Kevin Gates said. You could beat the shit out of
Yeah, this guy.
Dion got
But
it.
yeah, so you could do that, right? And now, as women, we have more stance and more rights in society. So it's different. But I get what you're saying. But I mean, women had to fight for the rights we have today. So you can't be looking at it like you insulted by it. I mean, some women.
I just feel like it unintentionally invites division.
Yeah.
In a lot of different
Absolutely.
ways. And I just feel like sometimes that can also affect your going forth into your relationships, because even when I'm acknowledging your feelings and asking you to also acknowledge mine, unfortunately, it causes the woman to say, well, because my experience is greater than yours, then I shouldn't have to also consider your feelings. It becomes that way, and you unintentionally will come off that way. And then in a relationship, once I emotionally respond to how that made me feel, you'll say I'm wrong.
In that moment, yes.
And that's why I said at the end of the day, my argument was just, why can't both emotions be right? Why does somebody which is a cultural thing. Well, it don't necessarily gotta be cultural, it can be an American thing. In order for something to be right, somebody gotta be wrong. And I disagree with that. And that's the biggest problem I guess I'm having is like, I never said you was wrong. I never said I had the same experience you. I never had the same. I never said that. I just said why we can't both be appreciated to have the feelings of going through this. But somehow somebody got to be inferior in every situation, and then that hurts, you know, and it causes a division that don't have to be.
And that's the main thing, you know, to kind of cap it off. Like we have to understand that it ain't always a right and a wrong. It's not. It can be a right and a right. Or it can be, you know what, we both matter. Because technically we do. Like it's a perfect example that we just went through this. When everybody was hollering, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, okay? But then you had whites that were saying white lives matter. Then you had some people that were saying everybody, all lives matter. Yeah. And I'm still on the side, and I have arguments with people that they're right. Those people that was wearing all lives matter, all lives do matter. But in that moment, Black lives needed to matter because of the situation, okay? It's the same thing we're doing, especially in the Black community with this pregnancy and labor, is our feelings, both our feelings matter when we lay down and have that and made the baby, all right? Now I just supposed to turn my feelings off as a man and just supposed to carry yours. That's not how that works. At the end of the day, we have to focus on the bigger picture at hand, because now we're bringing a whole nother person into this situation. And honestly and truthfully, neither one of our feelings should matter when that baby comes. If you just want to keep it real G.
Keep it 1,000.
Neither one of us emotions shouldn't matter. So if you want to say I don't care about something, it should be I don't care about how you feel. It should be I don't care about how you feel. We need to care about this baby.
Yeah. Emotions carry co-parenting, and that's why co-parenting has failed, because emotions are carrying in those relationships.
And it should be the child carrying.
It should be totally focused on the kid.
It has to be all about the kid. If it's not all about the kid, then we're failing the kid. We're failing it. We're setting the kid up. You want to know why it's 3, 4, it's 9 people in this room. You want to know why all of us are still scratching and clawing our way out of things in life? It's because our parents did not set us up in some areas of our life to be successful. It's the truth. It's the truth. They did the best that they could
What they had.
with what they had. And for that reason,
that's a huge point. That should be another topic.
It is.
Because culturally, because I provided for you, how you feel don't matter for a long period of time in your life. Nigga, as long as I'm providing, as long as you're under my roof, your feelings do not matter. And you carry that until you get to a point of rebellion or challenge. And then you're deemed insubordinate, or you're defiant because you want to speak about your feelings. Me speaking about my feelings makes me defiant. You know, it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. You got something?
Yeah.
Come on.
What would be your closing statement?
It kind of goes back to what you said in the beginning. You provided for her, so essentially.
Oh, man, I was trying not to go into that. I was gonna say. If I said, "What's your closing statement?" Before we go into
No, say it again.
I picked my phone up.
just what she's saying is, how you saying we grew up and being provided for. You got to listen to and take order and all that shit. When y'all become providers, y'all have that mentality.
But that's
unfortunate.
Unfortunately, what the fuck?
I didn't have that mentality.
Hey,
Men.
I'm not gonna go
But
into
I didn't have that mentality. Is that what you're saying?
No one's saying you. I was saying, like in the beginning, you explained like when we was talking about feelings and you brought up providing to come back to feelings part. You just admitted also that culturally, that's fuck your feelings. If it's food in the refrigerator, I don't care if you're crying. If the house is paid for, I don't care if you're crying. So sometimes y'all as men take that into, hey, I paid the light bill, so
You ain't here crying about that, but I worked 16 hours to do this.
And not in his defense, but not in his defense.
That's
What he's saying, but that's a trait.
That conversation with
That's
your
also a trait. So that doesn't.
That's not a trait.
It is a trait because sometimes you learn that.
Yeah.
You learn it, and then you do
Behavior
it.
to learn
Then
behavior.
you do that, and not even knowing you're doing it because you think that was normalcy because that's the way you grew up.
So if I did make it seem that way, I would want to correct that. I think my response was she was making it seem like I'm not being
Doing
supportive.
nothing at
Right.
all. Okay, yeah.
And I think my response to not being supportive is
Okay. I pay.
I'm
the
being
rent.
very supportive. You know what I'm
The
saying?
rent
And that's
system,
what I think that's where it came from because she made it seem as though I wasn't being supportive. And in my response, I was like, I'm being very supportive.
And he
I'm
didn't.
covering
He
these
could have
things.
did.
I'm affording this person to come there.
He
And
could've-
It was the
like that.
perception of support.
Right.
Somebody has to
He
cover
felt
it.
like he was being supportive. She did not agree.
Right.
that
Yeah.
that was being
And he could have been tit for
Right.
tat. He could have been like,
Yeah.
"Well, shoot, you ain't being supportive either because you don't take care of all these
It
bills."
costs for that person to come there and help
Whatever.
you with those
You know what I'm
last
saying?
things.
So it could have went
costs
both
I'm
ways.
supporting you
I'm
by
supporting
giving you this so that it can help you, but she didn't see that as support.
She didn't see that as support.
Right.
That was the only problem.
Good job.
But good point.
Okay. You have any closing statements?
What's your closing statement?
My closing statements on the value of the ring is stupid. And my closing statements on is co-parenting the problem. I think, no, I don't think co-parenting is the parent. I think it's the individuals within the co-parenting unit. But I also, on a grade scale, I think it should be, because we can't make this, but it should be more complicated to get pregnant. It should be more difficult. It shouldn't be so easy to get pregnant if this is what you have to collectively understand and figure out. That shouldn't be an accident. That should come with a plan. That should come with a obligation, a connection, a friendship, at least an understanding that we care about each other. Because I don't even think that's not even being talked about while you're having sex. You don't even know if you like them. You don't even know. You just know they're sexy, and that's weird. It's weird that you can just have a baby with somebody because they're sexy. Yeah, I think so. My closing statements will be: make it more complicated. Whatever you guys got to do, put it in the water.
I think my closing statements on does the value of the ring matter? Absolutely not. I don't even think I told y'all that, but we have to understand that, unfortunately, the generation that we in, to them it does. But I will say, if the ring is why you're doing it, be prepared to be downtown. And I ain't talking about to get married either. Because if you do make it to get married, I give you 2 to 3 years tops, and you'll be downtown at the Frank Crowley building, if I'm not mistaken, getting that good old divorce. Guaranteed. Because that ring, if you love is still everything. It's not loyalty. It's not none of that. Because if you got love, then I should have all of those things. I should have all of that. I should have consistency. I should have loyalty. I should have all of that if I got love. Because love, I ain't gonna even go into it, but love is a whole lot of things. It's a whole lot of things. So it is what it is. Is co-parenting the problem? Unfortunately, yes and no. Yes, because you have a child together, and it's pretty much as simple as that. No, because we've allowed ourselves to let our emotions of whatever relationship that we've had trump what's really the main thing. We have decided, especially in the Black community, not to keep the main thing the main thing. And the main thing is the child. So I would say less about what he or she did to you and more about raising he or she. With that being said, I'm the Beast.
I'm Blaq.
We are.